Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today, and welcome to episode 279 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Today, I'm joined by the man who's in the driver's seat. He doesn't need a co-pilot. Lord Cognito, how are you doing today, good sir?
I'm an Autobot.
Sir.
We drive ourselves. We don't need co-pilot. Yeah, chilling, man. Chilling. We got a lot to talk about, right? A lot to talk about.
It seems to be the case every week. Yeah.
Every week, Xbox gives us a lot of fun. But I'm chilling, man. I'm in my bag. I got my Transformers G1 shirt. I am living my best Transformers life right now.
Has anything been happening in the world of Transformers, or are you just enjoying a little renaissance here?
It's a renaissance because, I'll be honest, I never was a collector. But Transformers is doing this thing called Studio Series, and it's only focused on G1 for the most part, cartoon accurate. So in my day, the toys were, the shows were an excuse to buy the toys. You know what I'm saying? But the toys back then were, if I look at they're kind of whack. It's simple. They were made to look good in vehicle mode. But the robot modes were stiff. They didn't have any articulation. And then when
the action figures that only went like this,
yeah, that's my era.
The joints,
no bend. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the new toys. I'm like younger Cog would have had a conniption seeing these toys. And I'm like, and here's the key: that when you're a fan of something, especially Transformers, the animation model is the one you identify with. So when you get the toy, you be like, this don't look like, you know what I mean? It almost felt like as a gamer, something not being arcade perfect. And you're so you just, in your mind, you're playing, you're like, okay. But when you watch the show, you're like, that's how Megatron looks. That's how Devastator looks and so forth. So now the engineering is so sophisticated, bro. And it's the G1 look at its purest in robot and vehicle mode. I'm living my best life. And then for me, my favorite with the combine is the ones that's merge to become devastate. That's my, young Cog was blown away. Yo, this is crazy. So now they're doing every year a new combiner. So I think last year was Devastate. I completed my collection. Then it's the Aerial Bots, and there's the Combatic. So if you see my living room, it's disgusting. I am a man child. If you walk into my living room right now, on my kitchen table is nothing but Transformers. And I got little seeds. I got them shooting each other. I got trying to have to just do it. I ain't go for it. I walk past and I smile and I touch them up a little bit. I put them in new poses and then I walk past. I am a child. I ain't go for it. I was I don't care. I don't care who judge me, who walks in my house.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I love that. I mean, dude, right here, this Revan statue figured
fire.
Yeah, I spent more money on that than I care to admit, but it's KOTOR stuff is so rare, and I feel you on that. They announced on Star Wars Day, Star Wars has this series of figures that I think is really nice called the Black Series, and they just added a bunch of KOTOR characters, and that's the thing. See, so there are very few franchises I own a ton of merch for. You think I'd own a lot of Fallout merch? I look around my room and I do have Fallout merch. I do, but not Bethesda official. The special book I have was fan made. The Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah. The Pip-Boy back there. That was gifted by Bethesda. Now that I think about it, that was gifted by Bethesda. The Fallout 4 one was nice. But I have a Brotherhood of Steel Outcast power armor helmet that was donated to me by a cosplayer who quit. And he said I want you to have it. And it's easily my prized sort of, I think, possession in my Fallout collection. But really, it's Sly Cooper. I own every bit of Sly Cooper merch because there's so little of it. So I have every plush. I have every plush, every shirt, every poster, because there's 10.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to KOTOR, it's exceedingly rare. But they've been ramping up a little bit. They posted as part of their promotion for May the 4th on the left. They had the original trilogy characters. I think they had the prequel characters. I don't even think they really included the sequel trilogy stuff. But there it is. My goats, all the old Republic characters. I'm like, what's Revan, Bastila, Jolie Bindo in 2026? What the fuck are we doing here, dude? So I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I know the feeling and I'm very close. But the thing I am self-aware of is I am out of room. I am literally out of room. So when I was in Seattle, I bought a bunch of games and I have now all of these shelves basically completely filled. And I had to literally like look, make some business choices of like, all right, I got to donate some now. Like I got to get rid of some. I don't have any shelf space. I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put them unless I install a new shelf. So, but it's like now I'm attached to everything here. I'm like, I don't want to get rid of anything, but I want the KOTOR stuff because that is my favorite game of all time. So we're going to work to make that happen. But Cog, I feel you. I want to take out my action figures from the Knights of the Republic that I dreamt of having. That's the reason I bought Clone Trooper action figures. I was like, I pretended that was Cartho Nasty. Like that it wasn't even close. But like I pretended, so I don't have to pretend anymore. I want to have that once in my life. So
yes,
I'm with you on that. I'm glad you're still playing with toys.
Yes, I play with toys as a grown man. Yes, and I have to admit, the last thing I'll say is I know I'm invested because when you go down that dark path where like now you're listening to like collector YouTube channels. And
you're deep.
I'm like, bro, I'm in the G and like I'm listening to them talking to the new 86 Rodimus is coming out. And I'm sitting there like, what is it good? Because it's like this is my introduction to this little clique. So it's like I'm part of this little new family. And it's funny. It's real funny.
Bro, the toy community is so interesting. I got slightly introduced to it because there was a Fallout 3 remaster leak that was by, I think it was what's their name? I got their toys right here. What's the company's name? Starts with an M. What are they? I love how I said I don't have Fallout merch and I got this.
You got it right there. And I love it right there.
Sealed Fallout, the figure duo of Benny and the Riot armor. Okay, maybe I'm lying a little bit here. I'm forgetting the name of it, but anyway, they leaked a Fallout 3 remaster figure, but in there it was like a whole website dedicated to just toy leaks, like the insider gaming of toys.
Bro, I found that too. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like looking, they're like, they found a shipment. It's got the limited DC this. It's got Transformers. I'm like, oh shit! Like this, in the middle of all of that, there's Fallout 3 Remaster. That's why I was like, this is hilarious. Like the toy community goes deep. So I started looking it up.
Yes.
YouTubers covering it. Like, we just had a huge toy leak. I'm like, holy fuck, dude.
Then there's the beefs. They'd be like, I don't like the representation of this. I'm like, like they uses this face scope.
The same thing about us too. Like,
they laugh at us. They have to.
Video game podcast about Xbox. Are you kidding me?
It's so funny the subgenres and how passionate the communities get. And I'm literally in that same pocket, bro.
So good. Well, I'm glad you're having a good week then, playing with toys. We hope all of you who are listening are having a great time with your toys. I don't know. Maybe you're an adult. I don't know.
I know the Creepy Cog Revenge Boys are coming at me with this.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you start the ego Lego Batman, it's over for you. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I might be there day one with you, bro. I'm seeing them clips, right? I don't know if you see them clips out there.
Oh, bro, so we'll talk about it a little bit later. I'm very sold on the game. I'm just a little worried about the performance stuff I'm reading because I don't know if you saw the PC specs, but they're pretty rough. So it's like the one catch with this game that otherwise looks absolutely incredible. And the thing that I'm like trusting it's good, that it's got to be good, is I'm like, they moved the release date up. That's usually a sign like we're here, we're good to go, So we'll see. But yeah, Lego Batman Cog, I will not judge you if you're outside for that. Everyone should be outside for that. It's exactly what we wanted from Rocksteady, and they gave us Suicide Squad. So alas. With that, we want to jump into Health is Wealth real quick. We did have one write-in this week here. Shout out to the Iron Rook. He says, yo, Duke boys. He wrote in over on patreon.com/lastdaymedia, just like all of you can. You also get early ad-free access to our shows that go live there every Thursday. Otherwise, you can join us every Sunday on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, as well as YouTube, wherever your podcasts live. We are there. Iron Rook writes, it's finally here this Saturday. I'll be stepping in on the bodybuilding stage for the first time. Appreciate all the support of the Dukes themselves and the LSM Health is Wealth fam that's been forced to follow along my progress. Please send all the good vibes. I'd commit a war crime just to be able to lick a cheeseburger kind of day. And hey, man, I've seen Iron Rook. He's been working very hard. Fitness channels been popping off his YouTube channels, posting the shorts of him flexing in the mirror after all these workouts. I'm like, okay, all right, this guy's about to go in. He's about to win. I'm very excited for you, Rook. Congratulations on making it this far. Enjoy your cheeseburger after.
Bro, I'm so proud of him. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, got a chance to build with him, GDC, he's LogNet now, and just to see his discipline in real time is truly impressive, you know, and as a person who, like I said, I've never competed or anything, but I know that community and that fitness community subgenre, it's no joke, man. His discipline and everything is amazing. So you're almost there, you're at the finish line, you go kill it. I got a chance to work out with him and meet Lady Rook before, and again, the guy is awesome. And also, shout out to he's 1/4 of the Demio Bros. Y'all know who we are.
Oh, the Demio Bros. Astro.
Yeah, Astro, shout out to Rook, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you know what I'm saying, the homie, my man Lionheart, who this man is the most aggressive mage player I've ever. You have a sorcerer that don't like follow his own bro, he does not hang back. As soon as he gets the fireball ability, he's like, yo, fireball, I got the card ready to go. I'm like, all right, good. He's just the most, but I ain't gonna front. He's effective. Bro, he's effective. He does crazy DPS. And yeah, he's one of the best. It's just funny because I've never seen no one play the character that way, but he does it effectively. And obviously Rook he's the best bard in the business. You know what I'm saying? So that's the cool.
I just had a random question in my brain. It has nothing to do with what we were talking about before, but I'm just curious because you and I, we feel the same about basketball, right?
Yes.
We were both kind of not in on basketball. Have you been paying attention to playoffs this year at all?
I have not, sadly. I'm trying, bro. It's just, it's hard for me. Basketball is very personal for me. Remember, I'm an athlete. I played, you know, and I came up 1 year behind. Shout out to my man Jimmy. He gonna know the story, but I came up 1 year behind Cameron and Mace at Manhattan Center high school basketball. So like they were the guys I was a year before. This is before I kind of got hurt and then got all these my Achilles injuries and all this other nonsense. Achilles spurs stuff, heel spurs. But anyway, so like I'm passionate, bro. I used to watch the NBA like consistently during the heyday, the 90s, the Bulls, the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Like I come from the Indiana Pacers, the West Coast offense. So, you know, when I see the lack of defense and I see the shooting the 3-pointers a zillion times. I love Steph. Don't get me wrong. I think Steph is kind of the gift of the curse in a way. Then the rule changes. And then once it got, you know, the flopping, and I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not LeBron hater, the boy nice, you know, whatever. I just don't subscribe to that, oh, he's the GOAT. And then that causes a problem. So I think for me, like, the last hope I had for watching, you always got to have a favorite player to kind of, I feel like, to make you watch.
Sure. My
last favorite player was probably Derrick Rose. Like, I just thought he was the most electric thing I've ever seen on a basketball court. So I would tune in, but when he got hurt, that demoralized me.
Always, He was on the Knicks, he got hurt.
Oh, so much. And he was just a shell of himself. So it's like I'm seeing my superhero just not be as, like, you know, a former shell of himself. Bro, that's my history with basketball. All my favorite players, Penny Hardaway, him, Tracy McGrady, every player I back. T-Mac, bro, every player, like, young Penny in his like, they all, he's ripped his Achilles, he's destroyed his knee. And
goes to yourself.
Bro.
Flashbacks.
I'm like, oh, there it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just like, it just kind of makes me not watch. But yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. And then, last thing. I'm not going to hate someone for, you know, getting traded or what, but like the super team thing, Maddie, I can't win it on myself. So, you know, I'm going to go team up with 4 other superstars. And you won a ring, but I don't consider
I get it. Yeah. Cause like, I mean, I was a kid at the time, but I think about like, was AI like surrounded by like next level talent? It's just him, right? Like, you know, I think the first super team I can recall was like Celtics with, I'm sure they existed before that. Don't be wrong. Like, from my kid brain, it was like Rondo, Garnett, Pierce. Like that was like oh my God, these 3 are on the same team. Yeah. That was insane, you know? But otherwise, I agree. I was just asking because I've been thinking about you during the week because I keep getting recommended on YouTube, on social media. I keep getting recommended NBA playoffs clips. And like, it's looked kind of electric this year.
That's what I heard.
OKC is like exactly the basketball you and I hate. Yeah. Whereas like foul drawing, like flopping, diving, winning through that. Like they're clearly a nice team, but they're also like they got ballers. Like, why don't you just play, bro? Like, that's the only type of basketball I'm avoiding. But I'm gonna lie, this is the first time in ages I was like, can I fire a game up? Like, I kind of want to watch the Knicks and stuff. Like, the fans have been kind of funny. Like, you've seen Side Talk, right?
Yes. Like, Side, bro, that's my joke. Yo, I ain't go front. When the Knicks are good, dude, it's the so good. Bro, it's beautiful for life. Yeah. Because Knicks fans do not know how to act. It is fun, and I like it. I'm like, yo, they doing too much, but I love this.
Fuck Trae Young, and the guy's not even on the team, bro. It's so
after life. We outside. Yo, Knicks fans, all you gotta do is get a couple of some brews, couple of liquor, bro. You gonna get the best entertainment is a Knicks fan, so I ain't gonna hold you.
Anyway, you were on my mind. I just wanted to ask that. Yes. That was just a random thought that I was like, I gotta ask Cog. I was like, is he
for you, because you're watching, that's a big deal. Because me and you I feel we're in the same pocket as far as probably disenchanted with the NBA.
Passion. You could just feel some passion on the court right now. Like,
so now, all right.
You know, not that I don't think it's old times by any means, but it definitely is the first time that I've wanted to watch a game. I haven't yet, but I wanted to watch a game. And that's progress. That's huge progress. I was so indifferent to this sport. So we'll see.
We'll start tuning in, see what's going on.
I guess I should have brought this up later because we're going to talk about an NBA game later as well. And I'm very eager to get your thoughts on that one. But before that, Cog, let's talk Halo. The news to open this up here comes from Rebs Gaming, the homie. He has reported that Halo 2 and 3 are going to be remade regardless of what the actual support, success level, failure level, whatever you want to, whatever metric they're measuring Halo campaign evolved by. It does not matter what happens there. He is saying that according to multiple verified sources that I guess a campaign evolved 2 and 3 are happening. We also got information on this next Halo multiplayer project. So we had heard for a while there was Project Tatanka and there was Project Ecker. Tatanka's been canceled. That was the Halo Battle Royale game. It has turned into Project Ecker. Now, Project Ecker is what we've heard about on social media as the extraction shooter Halo game. It sounds bad on a headline, but when you do read the fine details, at least according to Rebs Gaming, and I don't think it matters once it gets revealed because people will just see the trailer and be like, oh, you guys are following a trend. But this was as late as summer 2023. So they've been at it before the wave. But they dropped the Battle Royale apparently because it was oversaturated. And now look what genre is building up.
I know.
I wonder what's going to happen there. But this is the next Halo game apparently. And it's possible, he said in his report, that this is going to get rolled into the next mainline Halo game, which wouldn't surprise me given how we saw Halo multiplayer go, where it was good, you know, like content and quality and feel wise, but content wise, it wasn't ready. And so having something that's been worked on for a while that is ready to go probably would be smart for them to do. But that's what we're looking at, Cog. We're looking down the pipe of 2 Halo remakes and a Halo mainline game and a multiplayer game. So with all that, I got some write-ins for you. One, a question. The other, a little bit of venting. The first goes to Neo JD. He says, Ayo, Dukes. Rumors are now swirling of Halo 2 and 3 getting the remake treatment. How far do you think these will go? Surely they can't just be more remakes of the campaign only, right? Why do you think these are being made and not just them porting and updating the Master Chief Collection? Is this something both of you would look forward to? Adam Nix writes, hey Dukes, I'm going to rant a bit here, so I apologize in advance. I love the Halo series. I bought the OG Xbox for Halo Combat Evolved, and Halo 2 very quickly became my favorite first-person shooter of all time. And it still is today. I've lost countless hours to all of the original Bungie games and have some amazing memories with the first 3 especially. But then we got 343. I'll give them a few positives. I really like the Halo 4 story and what they were originally setting up. The MCC is amazing today. Halo 2 Anniversary was very well done overall. Infinite has its moments as well, despite being very unfinished at launch. But we all know what the vast majority of the 343 era was. It killed all the relevancy they had when Bungie handed them the keys. 343/Halo Studios just isn't a good fit for the series. And now they're remaking Halo 1, not just Halo 1, but our beloved Halo 2 and 3. Pardon me, but fuck that. I have zero faith they'll give us an authentic Halo experience with any of these remakes. This isn't a modern controls issue. I don't mind adding ADS and sprint, forgive me, Halo purists, but the way they've done it with Halo Campaign Evolved makes it seem like some weird fusion of Infinite and Combat Evolved, which isn't what this game should be. I especially don't want this fusion for 2 and 3. Thanks for letting me rant. Have a stop it, it's already dead kind of day. So Adam and Neo have spoken. Cog, with this news out in the open here, thanks to Rebs Gaming, what is your takeaway of Xbox and in turn Halo Studios marching on with Halo remakes? What do you expect from them? Because Rebs did not specify, like, is it campaign only? Are they going to do multiplayer? I feel as you get deeper into Halo's lifespan, multiplayer becomes more and more of a necessity, but are they going to remake that multiplayer when you already have it in MCC? But that also goes the same thing for the campaign. So I think there's a very obvious answer to why they're doing all this. I'm sure you've come to the same conclusion, but Cog, I'll dish it to you. How do you feel about it when you read this news?
Well, shout out to Rebs, that's the homie, right? And great reporting. So obviously we get the news, trilogy is happening. I was surprised that this was going to continue only for the standpoint of the verbiage that regardless of the success of Campaign Evolved, it is still happening. So when I hear that, okay, I already know 100% this is for PlayStation. That's how I internalize it, because these games exist in the current form that they are. Yes, they're easy, money play, but at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing new per se that is going to be added for the Xbox community initially that's going to make us go crazy. But now, once we started getting more information, the information said, okay, we're going to get pre-commissions. Now there's going to be the brutes are going to be in it. That, I'll be honest, that intrigued me, because I was like, all right, that's something new for me as an audience. It's not like Gears Reloaded, where it's just like, okay, you're just given the same old game. Xbox fans have clearly already played this. Yeah. There's nothing new here for us. So I'm like, all right, fine. As far as, the response to everybody with 343, I'm with y'all. Like, the way I look at it is this. This is the most easiest layup for them to try to restore any form of trust and functionality from a technical standpoint, and to not mess up something that's already broken. What I'm hoping, and honestly, this is be real also, this is the Unreal Engine 5 training wheels kit for you, right? Check it out, get used to it. You're not doing slip space. You contractors will get more comfortable, and this way now you can get up to speed when it comes to the next mainline Halo game. And then to your question about the middle game, which is no longer Project Tatanka, what is it, Project Eco, or the extraction? Yeah,
extraction shooter.
Yeah. So again, as luck would have it, Halo chases a wave, and the wave is now saturated, right? So Battle Royale saturated, which could have been fun, on some level. I could have seen, ODST, Spartans dropping down. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's saturated. Now you're doing Extraction, and then we see Arc Raiders, and we see Marathon, and it could be fun, but it's just, I don't know how it's going to work. But I know this. It's to the question for the people saying, why are they just going to drop Campaign Halo 2, remake Campaign Halo 3? The reason why is they are not going to oversaturate that multiplayer community. They're going to make sure that everyone is funneled into whatever this new thing is, and not have these segmented communities. That's why they're doing it. That's why, in my opinion, and plus it's low lift, and you don't have to do any server maintenance. It's just, hey, redo the campaigns for the old ones. And then from there, when the multiplayer game come out, it'll be just this sweet. And then we see what happens with, Halo, the next Halo. So, am I like super thrilled about this? No, but it's one of those things where it's just like, I'll play the prequel missions. I'll see the direction of where they want to go by how they infer with a lot of the canon and the lore. And that's where I'm at with it. So, I'm not like pissed, but I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm with you for the most part, because I think this is a moving story. And by that, I mean, my take right now could be dramatically different come the release of Halo Campaign Evolved. And I got to be honest with everyone, I'm mostly leaning to the negative when I say that. I already struggle, as I'll get into in a moment here, to think of why some of these games need to be remade that benefits the customer. I get why it benefits Xbox and why it specifically benefits Halo Studios, because a lot of this is them marching on with stories that they know we love, because they can't deliver stories of their own. So this is why they're doing that. So I get why it benefits them, but I've yet to see why it benefits us. And while I sound like that annoying Halo fan, I am not a Halo purist in the terms of like Adam mentioned in our write-in, sprinting, ADS. Like I don't lose my mind over that stuff. But to me, those kind of smaller level design decisions, I am the Rockgate guy. Like I do look at what they did with Silent Cartographer. And I know that you can technically use the physics and get over the rock, but it was Bungie's intent that you don't. They made it a huge pain in the ass to do that. But the beauty of their engine was also, if you really want to make it a pain in the ass and you really want to figure it out, you really want to get that Warhog over the hump, you eventually can, but you kind of got to just keep working through it. Sure. So I'm that guy who's like, I saw what they did where they just straight up removed them. Like, you kind of don't get it. You know, it's just those little things. It's like, did you play it? Did you had the design documents and you just kind of didn't, by going through it, understand what they were trying to achieve there? Like I, as a player, was able to figure that out, but you as the designer were not. So I worry about with levels that aren't named the library, what they will be doing, subtle or major changes wise. Could there be positives there? Sure. Like you mentioned, I'm more optimistic about things like the prequel missions because they're more from scratch and in addition to, and that is interesting. But it feels like they're also with that, you know, Rebs Gaming did say in his report that they're, for example, including brutes in these prequel missions. And that's part of the reason why they're like remaking Halo 2 and 3, because obviously the brutes start to appear in those games. And so I'm starting to wonder if they're kind of gradually also reshaping the Bungie stories too, in this new cycle, which by the way is the beginning of a fourth cycle for Halo 1. So just there's that alone, which to me is just the fact that like I don't trust them, and then also I don't think they really get it. They've shown on numerous occasions, whether it be the TV show, which COG speaks for me on that one, rerunning Halo 1 3 different times since they've inherited it, right? We're talking 360 Anniversary Edition, MCC, now the remake. So they've spun their wheels there. Halo 4-5, reboot again with Infinite, and they're going to reboot it again because they canceled the sequel to Infinite. So this company just doesn't know what they're doing, and this is literally the only thing they can make. There's very few companies that I can think of in my coverage that I just get after every time I talk about them.
Get after.
But like this is 100% the company where my hands are up every time. I'm like, all right, bro, like you got to earn every inch of this shit, dude. Every inch. Because what they're doing now is like Halo 1, I feel you could argue for the remake. I have such strong memories and nostalgia for it. It is like my favorite memory with Halo right next to 3. But I can acknowledge, like, again, I mentioned the library. There are parts, but that I think could be better. But even those parts that are not great, I mean, compared to the whole game, I'm just like, dude, this thing is fucking spectacular. But then you start getting to 2 and 3, and now you're really flirting with two things. Tampering with industry history, core industry history. We know the story of Halo 2, right?
Oh, yeah.
With the E3 demo.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, like just how that was a horrible development cycle. And that game had so many heroes, right? And the fact, part of how incredible that game is also knowing how you can't really feel some of its issues despite everything that was going on. Ignoring all of that, though, Halo 2 really took things off. But it's Halo 3 I got my back up on. I'm like, as I said when I talked about this on stream a few days ago, I was like, there are a few games that I think fit the box of perfection. Like that I just look at and I go, you tick everything. I wouldn't change a thing. And I don't mean that with my own taste. Like, I love KOTOR. I can also acknowledge that there are things about that haven't aged as well for new fans coming in. But Halo 3, I feel I could play now. I played it back when it came out. I could play it 15 years from now. That shit is still going to be spectacular top to bottom. It's so well designed. Its campaign hits so hard. It's got incredible Forge mode. The suite across the entire package is some of the best that you can have in video games. What are you doing when you remake that? I am so curious what is on paper for them. Because obviously right now it's a roadmap. They're like, easy money. No matter what, people are going to be interested. No matter what, people are going to buy this. They can't abandon us now. I really want to know if you're not going to remake, if you're not going to put multiplayer in, which by the way, Halo 3, that's what I talked about. You're tampering with gaming history. Halo 3 represents Xbox 360, the loved generation of Xbox with no problems. Or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. The loved generation that beat Red Ring of Death. And it feels like there was no problems.
Yes.
Xbox Live, party chats, game chats. Halo 3 is a social hub. Most people have a memory with Halo 3. Do you know what you're doing? I don't think they get it. When you greenlight like that, like no matter what they say, we're going to 2 and 3. What does that tell you? Think about that for a moment. No matter, based on Rev's report, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying like the audience out there. Like, think about that. They're like, you could be out here saying, yo, this is the worst shit I've ever played. And they're moving on because they know this is going to be money for them. They know this shit's going to sell. And they don't care about that history, in my opinion. It's so obvious with the way they've tampered and will continue to tamper. And I think the show is the greatest indication of that. So my concern is really like, okay, you can get away with Halo 1, but I don't think you're going to get away as scot-free as you think with Halo 2 and 3. If you think people are breathing down your neck now, it's going to get really bad with Halo 2, and it's going to be at its worst with Halo 3. So unless they want to just do a Oblivion style, you made it, quote, prettier, which, by the way, I'm of the mindset that I don't even know if you can fucking do that. Not Halo Studios, but I'm just saying in general, dude, like Halo's art style has such deep personality. We were arguing about this back on the 360 when you could flip between the anniversary edition and the OG version. And a lot of places, the OG version looks really good, you know? But then and you could see the artistic choices they made with that. Like when you got to the level with the flood, 343 Guilty Spark, and they cleaned up all the blood in that level, all of the environmental storytelling. They scrubbed it up. I'm like, can you even make it look better? If that was anything to go by, that was your first go around. So I'm not even like an Unreal Engine hater. I work in Unreal Engine, not 5, but I work in Unreal Engine. So I'm not like a hater of it, but it's like, I don't even think you guys could do that with that game because it looks spectacular. You know, it's a 360 game. And when you clean it up on the MCC, it looks really great. So I wish them the best of luck, but I really think like it's just a matter of a survival for them. Like they're doing it because what else will be a kind of more surefire bet to at least get people's attention than this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look, you spitting. There's a lot of truth bombs there, and there's no leash. There's no wiggle room. It has to be flawless. You're messing with history, right? And these are games that are revered. They look fantastic. And in theory, it should be low lift for you. In theory, all it should be is a glow up and we should be rejoicing because it shouldn't be that difficult. But based on the history and based on who they are, based on all the turmoil that we continue to hear, right? That's why our confidence is just where it is with it. So as far as why it's happening, I know why it's happening. This was during, in fairness to them, this was during a time where the 30% mandate is in. So if the 30% mandate is, and we know you can't create something new right now because you're not capable. So what's the easiest lift? Let's slap them bad boys out there, 2 and 3, get comfortable with Unreal, and there you go. But to your point, what you said, the key point is this. There's some aspects of Halo which are what I consider spiritual, where you see those moments and the way the music hits, the way the gameplay feels, the way the design element, like we talk about solid cartographer and things of that nature, the intent, designer intent, and you go, wait a minute, something's off, right? And the Halo community will tell you. Halo community was outside when, the plasma rifle ain't looking right, or, you know what I'm saying? The Halo community do not play. Now, I do think they're a bit much when it comes to ADS and Sprint. I'm not there on them with that. Bro, you got to modernize on some level. So as long as 343 can present some options, you know what I'm saying? I think that will give them some leeway, and hopefully you should think this should be fine. The key where they might get themselves in trouble is this. Because they're flirting with the brutes and they're flirting with, the skulls and stuff like that. When you're introducing more modern story elements to kind of tie the gap, the lore goons are going to be on you with authenticity. Oh boy. Yeah. And that's where they're going to have to nail it. And I hope they don't have hubris with that, where they feel they know, right? As opposed to the source material, as well as the fans and polling that information. This is where we're going to learn about them when it comes to revered stuff. Yeah. And like I said, it's in theory, should be an easy lift, but it's Halo Studios. So you never know what you're going to get. I'm pulling for them, but we'll see.
Yeah, the thing that gets my back up too is like Halo 2, they did such a great job with on the MCC. Like, think of the blur cutscenes that they added to that thing. Like, when you open up that campaign, it's like, holy shit, dude. And there were some like unlockable ones. Like, it's like, again, I think they kind of defeated themselves. It's like they put in that effort back then because they're like, we got this shit unlocked, dude. We're going to go make Halo 5 after this, and it's going to be great. Like, we're fine. And now here they are in 2026. They're like, fuck, dude. Like, we need money. We need to survive, and we need to do a tech transfer, and we need to make projects in the meantime. And like, how do we do that? To remake this game that we've re-released and we did a really great job with. Like, we sharpened up the graphics. We added the blur cutscenes, which didn't tamper with anything else there. And like, just made what was there better, and like that was it. So I just, again, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll be honest. I usually don't like Doom this far in advance. I don't got a good feeling about the play.
You got a good feeling?
No, I think things like Ecker just sound more interesting because at least with multiplayer, like Infinite, I can say felt really good. Infinite had some of that sandbox feel. And I think Halo playing around with new modes, even Battle Royale, I think they're cowards for walking away from it because frankly, like, you know, is a genre good if it's on a timer? You know, it's saturated. It's like, okay, I get that's part of it. Like, you kind of want to be in the interesting mix, not when everyone's over it. But like, if it's really good and it's a multiplayer game and it's Halo, I think people will show up. So I think I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't have stuck with it, I guess is what I should say, because I've never played it. But you know, I think Ecker at least has some potential because it's like, okay, this sounds different. This sounds interesting. And Halo, the beauty of its multiplayer suite is it plays so well in so many different ways and has like great settings and fiction to really back it up. Next mainline, I got no.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I go see it.
I got nothing for the audience on that. I'm sorry, guys and gals. I really got nothing for you on that. But
I will say this before we move on: is that did you see that Halo Infinite got an update? And then,
thank you for bringing that up. It actually looks kind of fire.
It looked kind of fire, and I was shocked because I thought they were done.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
What's going on? Are they
that engine was abandoned? Like,
what are they signaling there? Because to my understanding, I could have swore a couple of Dukes ago we had like I don't know if they had like a post-mortem, but didn't I feel like there was kind of like a sense that this was the last update, or we were going to be doing updates for a while or something like that? Maybe I'm off. I don't know. I was shocked to see a Halo Infinite update, this week. And I'm like, okay.
Like, it's not just we tweaked something or we added a Forge map. It's like a whole new mode that's got PvE, boss fights, upgrade stations, skill point upgrades.
What's going on?
It looks pretty awesome.
It looks good. It looks good. I can't.
And that's why I'm more interested in Ecker. I'm like, I don't think they're bad with multiplayer. They just didn't have the content support.
Exactly.
For it,
100%.
So I think they'll be fine there, but just with storytelling and single player, I'm a little bit worried. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up because it's really interesting what they're doing. I just don't know if it's a part of any type of plan.
They just seem all over the place. We're here for the ride, but at least I like that it's. Last thing I'll say in positive news, I like that it's coming out in the summer, so that it avoids the landmines that are set up for them. So hopefully it's ready. And that's a sign that it's actually finished and ready to be, ready to go. So we'll see.
Absolutely. In the meantime, Cog, we got a lot of random Xbox news to get into today. One that really has the community pretty hyped is a simple 4-second video shared by Asha Sharma. It is the first new Xbox boot up screen in 6 years. And the community is very happy about this. And it kind of signals a new generation. It's a new logo for Xbox, which we saw they went away from that kind of corporate white into more of the alien green that Xbox is known for. A lot of people really like that as well. I have thoughts on this. I'm just curious if you had any feelings when you saw this. Were you like, oh yeah, like a lot of people were like, you're the best, Asha. How are you feeling when you saw this new boot up screen?
We're so easily pleased right now.
Yeah, she's got, okay, thank you for just saying that. Can I just jump in real fast?
Okay, go for it. She's
gotta be licking her chops, bro. She works in like a consumer-facing business. She's had to fight for like Instacart, Meta, and she's sitting here going like, that's what you got? It's that easy?
Bro.
She's probably sitting there like, dude, no wonder she's doing so great. She's like, y'all are so easy.
Bro, we starving, bro. We starving, man. We like,
you guys will be taken care of just fine. The standards are much higher elsewhere.
Yeah, and to her credit, the small W's are what kind of gain that trust. And again, it's I don't want to be too strong a word, but I will use the word indictment as to why these things couldn't happen before. Platform updates are something that you really want to get rolling to your community. And I think I'll just look at it as like with me and my phone. I get excited when I see like a whole bunch of new updates, or the app that I'm using the most, has some new features and stuff like that. That's so important to user acquisition and stuff like that. That's her background. So yeah, this is, look, first of all, I will say the new logo is fire though. I love it a lot. Mm-hmm. Like it looks clean. That Xbox, that black with it got almost like a little gold shimmer. It goes, I want merch on that. I ain't gonna hold you. I want the merch on that. I will rock that. But to your overall point, I'm with you, Maddie. I'm like, okay, I get it, guys. We feeling, a lot of the moves, small W's, but we popping off like we just won the Super Bowl. And I'm like, bro, can we get some games? Can we, what I'm saying? Like there's still a lot to do. And but great start so far and amazing logo.
Yeah. I do like the coloring because, it harkens back to like OG Xbox times and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I always thought the kind of white Xbox logo looked a little weird to me. I would like for them to do what PlayStation did at one point. PlayStation, for some reason, got rid of it too. PlayStation celebrating, I think it was their anniversary, did the legacy boot up stuff where you could like navigate your dashboard and boot up with like the older PlayStation ones, like 2, 1. Yeah, it was cool as fuck. So I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, why not do that for Xbox, but kind of let people keep it? Because they said they were looking for deeper personalization. A lot of the sound to my ear was the same. So I don't know. I wasn't popping off over the new boot up, but I thought just let's address it. Some Xbox diehards are really loving this shit. But anything is progress at this point, I think, for this brand. So I get why people have been, really celebrating it. This next one, Cog, comes from our friend Jez Corden, who had the latest exclusivity scoop, and I'm realizing now I do not have this this linked in our.
I got you, bro. Professional podcast.
You got this for me?
I got you, bro.
I'm just like, where's my link? I didn't put the link in the.
You know how many times I've done that before too, and I was just like, oh man, I didn't put it
to everything else I'm looking right now, and I forgot the link for this one.
Got you, bro. Got you.
All right, thank you. Perfect. Mm-hmm. So Jez Corden put up a really great article. It was titled "To Save Xbox, Asha Sharma doesn't have to defeat PlayStation or Steam. She has to defeat Microsoft itself." Now, it's a great read holistically. I think y'all should check it out for yourself. That said, there is one portion of it that I want to read because it is kind of the latest scoop on where exclusivity is going. And I do think it's a dramatic enough report that will change some minds, myself included a little bit. So let's get to reading here. For Xbox to survive, Asha doesn't need to defeat PlayStation, Nintendo, Steam, or anyone in the gaming space. She needs to defeat Microsoft itself. Post-Activision Blizzard acquisition, for some odd reason, Microsoft came to Xbox with an insane and somewhat unprecedented aspiration. Xbox will now chase a 30% profit margin, a target that no other gaming platform in history has come close to consistently. Chasing this profit margin, known as the accountability margin internally, has an absolutely devastating impact on Xbox as an entity, with ramifications that will continue to play out long into the future. The big victim of this accountability margin is by far and away Xbox hardware, which is now maybe too far gone to recover. Many headlines have been written about the Xbox freefall quarterly with its hardware, minus 30%, minus 30%, like a grim countdown to midnight. It paints a picture of an Xbox that is undesirable to consumers, but that's not exactly accurate. The truth is even worse, that Microsoft intentionally engineered this decline. We'll be talking about the number 30 a lot here today. He says, one of the things Microsoft sacrificed to chase these aspirational profitability metrics was Xbox hardware stock. Xbox Series X and S consoles are not sitting idle on store shelves. The demand is there. The stock isn't. Microsoft didn't purchase the units required to meet demand quite clearly because the hardware itself doesn't units required to meet the demand quite clearly because the hardware itself doesn't translate directly into high margins. And now in the year of GTA 6, Microsoft will have no Xbox Series X and S stock to sell. The memory has already been purchased by PlayStation and other firms that think annually rather than quarterly. And as the AI route continues to destroy memory inventory, there's nothing Xbox leadership can do about it. It's the same short-sightedness that has typified Satya Nadella's Microsoft throughout his entire tenure. Nickel and dime today, panic tomorrow. We're now in panic mode across Microsoft's entire stack, Xbox, Windows, and beyond. Indeed, documents seen by Windows Central and verified by proven sources reveal a range of options Xbox considered to try and meet Microsoft's 30% by 2030 accountability margins. These included every absolutely dire option you can imagine. It included things like cost saving by cutting backward compatibility with Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S generations, with future hardware, and moving towards evolving to be more software-based versus hardware-based. We're almost done here, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm reading a lot again.
Now you cooking, you preaching. Good. Keep on.
The previous Xbox leadership fought to save what remains of Xbox hardware and get the upcoming next-gen Xbox Helix greenlit, complete with backward compatibility on top, but the previous margin aspirations remained. More short-term gains for long-term pain followed. Putting games onto competing platforms like PlayStation helped Sony meet its own targets at the expense of Xbox's long-term viability as a platform. The fact that Microsoft engineered Xbox to have as little hardware stock as possible helped justify this move away from exclusives. And the stock situation remains in play, which is why you should not expect Asha Sharma to have a great deal of breathing room on exclusive games. At least in the near term, Xbox has no stock to sell. So why invest in exclusive games? Why invest in marketing Xbox hardware that does not exist to sell? It is a self-perpetuating problem now, and at least in the medium term. Selling games on PlayStation and other platforms will help Xbox invest in its future. But it well and truly remains to be seen whether or not Xbox hardware will survive Microsoft's short-term auto-immolation on this front. Very good read there. But what we see there is that we learn more about the accountability margin, how Microsoft sabotaged their own hardware stock because they were moving more software based. As a result, hey, let's go multi-plat. And then now when they could go exclusive, they have no stock to sell. So can they even do exclusivity if it makes sense? So the question remains, why is Asha Sharma saying we're going to revise exclusivity? So what's your read of all of this, Cog? Because it's the latest on this kind of back and forth. Xbox certainly is flirting with it. As we headlined last week, we're wondering, will they? But when we have this information from Jez here, it sounds like they can't, even if they really wanted to. But is it sort of we'll hold out for AI and then we'll move back into exclusivity maybe next year when stock is more readily available and we have a Helix to launch? What's your thought process on this? Because I'm really curious. It sounds like they have something they want to do. They know it's necessary to make their box attractive, but they can't do it because they can't produce the hardware to sell.
This is the $1 billion question. This is it. We're here now. And first of all, shout out to Jez, fantastic reporting. And this is what I've been trying to explain to people in terms of the past regime and the new regime. This is her toughest challenge. And this is not her fault. This is not her fault. She has been thrown into something where literally the past regime, based on the constraints of what Satya and the AI bubble that they were going for so aggressively and the targets that they were under so aggressively. So if you're under 30%, okay, damn, how are we going to get this 30? All right. So the hardware, we multiply. Okay, we're almost transitioning to a publisher, put the games everywhere, try to get revenue, cut back, compact. You see all the panic. Mm-hmm. That's what the past regime has done. And this is a fair assessment. Now we got the data out there. So when you're under that, you're not prioritizing hardware because we even said it made no sense. Black Friday, no sale on a console on Black Friday. And here was the number one indictment when I knew they didn't care anymore. Under the impression that GTA wasn't delayed last year, right? Everybody and their moms know when that GTA drop, you buying a console. That's gonna boost up the console sales. The entire industry benefits when GTA is outside. So the fact that they had no preparedness, no stock, nothing ready to go, that's the ultimate concession. You're like, we're out, right? Because we're doing this other thing and we got to try to hustle it down. Yeah. So that's what happened. So now she gets thrown into this. And this is the point that this is the difficult question because, listen, I want to be wrong. I want to sit there and say, yo, everything's on the table now. She's going to go in there. She's going to rip the PlayStation logo off of the Halo campaign Evolve. She's going to tell you Gears is exclusive now. I would love to be wrong, but I'm looking at the business and I'm telling my Xbox brothers are mad at me. I'm like, look, I understand what you want. I just want to know how it makes business sense to get there. Oh, well, you got to do this. Those just fight me in my DMs. They texting me, calling me. God, you got to do. I said, okay, tell me how it makes sense for any live service or multiplayer or cooperative game, right? To sit there and say, we're going to rip it off PlayStation and put it on the third place lowest install base thing and make that happen. The only way it happens is if now, and this is the glimmer of hope, is if now, because the Eye of Sauron is in a weakened state.
It is.
He's in a weakened state. And here's the thing. She's the only hope I'm going to give my brothers, which is she's got to strike now to say short-term gain versus long-term viability. And we have seen a little size of Satya cracking. Well, you know, the Xbox Platform, one of our core platforms. Since when? You didn't care about none of this. like, bro, stop fronting. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was lying when he was like, oh, you want competition? As soon as we got the thing, throw the games everywhere. Why, Phil, why are we doing exclusive? I already see the flip-flopping with him, and then I saw the AI thirst bubble. You was thirst because you just wanted to be first. Thirst for first. That's what I call it. You know what I'm saying? So then now that they pop off, Amy Hood looking crazy right now. At the numbers, like, why did we do this? What's going on here? Why are we so aggressive? Where's the return on this? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And again, not that they're getting out of AI completely, but we got some news on that we're going to talk about, which is interesting. So this is her strong, if it's going to happen, this is what I will say, for the glimmer of hope. And I still don't think it's going to be full on exclusivity. That's just me. But the glimmer of hope is that she catches him now. She's building out what she's building out, right? And then there is some form of this and not that, or maybe timed and then slowly build it. But that's a long-term play. Here's the sad reality too, Maddie. This type of thing takes 4 to 5 years. Yep. This doesn't take overnight and you rip. That's the way business goes, guys. Like, look at PlayStation with Helldivers. Did you see those numbers? I don't know if that's on the docket.
Plus on Steam? No, I don't have it.
Sorry if it was on the docket.
Okay. No, you're good.
Okay, so, bro, you think PlayStation now gonna be like with multiplayer? I understand with single player that they're listening and pivoting like, hey, the Steam dudes, y'all the ops, calm down. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But with after you, it's hard to tell your man who was hustling a new way, and he got new income stream revenue. Stop doing that, fam, because I feel away. Stop that Forza 5 stuff, because I feel away. I know you made the most, but like, bro, it don't work like that. And I love y'all. So look, you know, y'all can timestamp this. I want to be wrong. I want y'all to come and say, God, I told you she was going to do that. Bro, I'll be cheering with you. I'll be like, yo, she committed to long play. She put her flag down. She was able to catch Satya in a weakened state, and now it's on. I would love it. I don't know I'm a realist. I don't know how realistic it is, especially, and there's the key line that I forgot to mention, the stock. You don't got the supply chain, baby. You don't got it. So it's like, even if you want to do it, even if she says, yes, that's the way to go, you ain't got no Series S's being pumped out right now. Yeah, you see Steam can't even get their joint out right now.
Yeah.
So it's tough, you know, and that's just how I see it. But shout out to Jez. Shout out to his article. You know, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes. And this is reality talk, right? And this is her toughest thing. How does she navigate that? But I know I've rambled, but this was a good article.
No, I agree. I agree completely. I think it really shines a light on the issue they're in, because I don't think anyone's really taken that angle with that information and said like, well, even if they it's clear it makes sense for their business optically, at the very least. We don't know if sales wise they'll do it, but optically it makes sense to go back to exclusivity. The problem that's illustrated here is that Microsoft is so reactive that, you know, in this day and age, it's like they'll give them a year. They're like, okay, go back to exclusivity. Yeah, like we totally buy this vision here. Like we really want to see Xbox restore. And like they'll be like, okay, cool, we're gonna need 5 years. It's like, you get one. Figure it out in 1 year. So that's the thing I worry about, is that I'm starting to see signs that at least the current team at Xbox gets it. And this is what happens when Microsoft's a little bit out of the way. We'll see what other moves they make. But I mean, they've completely crippled that business, dude. Shutting down hardware supply in the year GTA. I thought they were just slow. You and I talked like they slowed production because no one was really buying because they were going multi-plat. Bro, no stock with GTA 6 on the market this year.
And you got a Series S.
What a devastating, dumb fucking decision. That put them out more than anything. That put them out way more than anything. And we were not in those rooms. I don't know if it's when it started with Phil talking 2019 about Xbox should be everywhere, or Sarah's this is an Xbox, or Satya's mandate, or Amy Hood's accountability margin. But like, I feel just line them all up and ask them what the fuck happened, dude. That's terrible. So what we see here, I think, is just, you know, I already say give them a year. I don't think we'll learn anything about exclusivity this year. Because now looking at that story, if what Jez is writing is true, what I'm going to be asking is if Asha comes out, which give her a fucking week, bro. Next week we'll be talking about this.
I know.
I'm not even kidding, too. Like, it's like very possible at this point. But like right now, as we're talking about it, next week, she could say all of this, but like even if she flipped that switch, now I'm going to be looking at Jez's story going, well, how'd they figure this out? You know, because we just saw Steam or Valve, we'll talk about in a couple of stories from now, like imported 250,000 game consoles, it seems. So with that kind of up in the air, it's like, are we starting to see production hardware kick back up? If Valve is starting to move, you know, and they're not really trying to be a living room competitor, what does that say about everyone else? If Microsoft's easing on Copilot ever so slightly, what does that say about their availability to buy the parts to make an Xbox? Yeah, no one really knows. But if she does greenlight exclusivity this year, I'm going to really wonder what the plan is, because I mean, it would have had to have been a miraculous convincing of like, we're going to lose money and we're going to lose money for a while, but it'll turn over our optics. And right now we need the brand to look good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the correct long-term play if your true intention is to restore the brand. You know, I've never been this guy that's like, oh, exclusives are bad. When somebody does something that I don't understand or I don't like, I try to understand why you did it, help me get there, and then prove to me with data why this is working out for you, right? Sure. And the initial data was good for them with like a Sea of Thieves and, you know what I'm saying, Grounded and what you call, obviously, clearly Forza and stuff like that. But we saw the yin and the yang to it. The yang was the brand damage. The yang was no one, you know, was caring about the Xbox. And you push people away through your own marketing from your console. So to me, yeah, you want to restore that so that people have a reason and they have that FOMO way, like, yo, I cannot wait. I want this on this console and I want this now. The other thing is what we talked about. Exoff said it so well on the last ILP, which is like, it's one thing to say, yeah, just making this game or that game. These games got to be great. That's it's great game. The reason why Forza is so well is because Forza Horizon is a great racing game. Amazing. You can't just be
amazing even.
Exactly. So it's like you got those are the needle movers. And that's why, again, when during the Phil thing, and I checked Phil on this directly, like, bro, don't ever say a 10 out of 11 game can't move. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Because at the end of the day, it has the zeitgeist and it has people saying, I can't. And he understood what I was saying. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. And I knew what he was trying to say. But at the same time, I told him the optics of that look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to say, oh, all you caring about is 80 or 79 metagames. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference when it's a 90. The last point I'll say with this is this. You made a good point in terms of Microsoft allowing the vision to take place, even if she says, yes, it's a goal, even if she's got the green light, she's storming ahead, she doesn't care. Like, that's gangster. She do that, fire. Here's my other thing. Based on her history, like, she's a superstar. Like, everywhere she go, she's in a pocket. She turning around. Instacart, Facebook Messenger. She's in a pocket with user acquisition brand and brand, you know, increasing. My concern, though, is if you look at her resume, besides, we'll get into the AI stuff, we'll talk about that later. It's always a 3-4 year pocket. When you're a superstar like the way she is, usually people like that, again, I don't want to assume, I'm just looking at the track record. The track record says, okay, I've mastered that, on to the next. Right?
You think she's going to leave that CEO money behind?
Look, unless we coming for the ISI sorrow, unless we coming for that title, you know what I'm saying? That's different. But I'm gonna assume, you know what I'm saying, this is something we have to monitor, because again, I'm looking at the history. It's usually a 3-year, 4-year run, and then she's on to the next. And that these are things that because I'm selfish. I care about Xbox. You know, you doing your thing is you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. That's what you're supposed to do in corporate cog world. But I just want to see, how long do we have you? That's another thing, because you're at such a fever blistering pace, and you're doing things
done, pumping up, just
you know what I'm saying? And then I don't want to be left behind with a foster parent that we like, yo. That's what happened with Peter. Like, we like, damn, how we got Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Because Peter was off to the next. He was like, yay. Bro, Peter was like, yo, I'm at Liverpool. I bought Liverpool.
He took over a football club.
I was like, Peter, you the man. I ain't even going back. I can't even get mad because you're
hate that. Yeah.
So great. That was his dream. He's from there, bro. You know what I'm saying? You will never walk alone. He's a Scouser. That's my guy. I get it. I got mad Liverpool friends. That's a loyalty that is unknown to man. Like those dudes are your friends for life, kind of thing. So it's something to monitor. And again, I could be projecting. She could be great. She could sit there and say, you know what, this is where I want to be, and I turned this thing around, and I continue to elevate. So, and we'll talk about all the things she's doing.
Indeed, we did have this quick write-in. It was from Luna Mora. Says, "Hey, Big D's. Do you think there's any chance that Asha would ever cancel PS5 ports that have been confirmed, or purposefully delay the PS5 port to create a window of timed exclusivity? Imagine if Asha outright cancels the PS5 port of Halo Campaign Evolved. That way, the brand damage of Halo going on PlayStation gets narrowly avoided. Maybe she even cancels or massively delays the PS5 port of Fable. Forza Horizon 5 has shown it can still sell incredibly well on PlayStation 5, even if it's sold years later. Why not have the timed exclusivity window just be as long for Forza Horizon 6? If this happened, what do you think the reaction would be? Would it be more positive because gamers are seeing Xbox return to some form of exclusivity? Or would gamers be upset they're not getting Xbox games on PlayStation that they thought they were getting? I'd love to hear your thoughts and it'd be really nice to see Xbox dedicate to a direction for more than 10 minutes kind of day. So I just wanted to flirt with this topic real quick while we're here on sort of the idea of just like, you know, as Gene said on Summon Sign, just sitting there, backspacing the code for Fable's PS5 port, setting a copy of Halo on PS5 on fire. Do we see a world where there's a coy? I don't think they make it loud. I think Halo is the one that, out of everything Luna Mora wrote here, I was like, you got a point. If you're flirting with exclusivity, I get money at the end of the day, right? Like I understand that. I'm not talking like a corporate or executive. I 1,000% admit that. However, there is something to be said about sending your identity to the competitor. A Mario to PlayStation, a Last of Us to Nintendo. You know, like there's something to be said about that. And that if you kept everything else the same, but you did maybe say, think about it for a sec, guys. I know it would make Halo Studios look dumb, but what the fuck's the difference at this point? You know, the guys are like wearing their Halo t-shirts.
You're like PlayStation.
You always love this shit, bro. And like, that's fine and well and all good. Like they're so, dude, they make me sick. They're so obviously trying to get a new fan base that knows nothing about them. You know, when like, have you ever like, let's roll back the clock.
Good.
I think about when I was in college, right? Dude pulls up, he's good vibes. Friend pulls you aside. Watch out for him. And you're like, what do you mean? He seems fine. He seems totally fine. They're like, dude, I know this guy. Fuck him. No. All right, I hear you. And as time goes on, you see him again and again. You start to see the flashes, the real character come out, right? That's 343 right now with PlayStation fans. They're like, we've loved you all from day one. You're great. And they're like, oh, we love these guys. They don't know what Xbox fans have gone through for a while. So anyway, in all seriousness, with PlayStation, Halo, I feel I could see something like that. A quietly done, like we see the trailer roll at the Xbox showcase. Here's the Xbox logos, Game Pass logos. We're looking at some interview by GameSpot. Asha's like, oh, so it's shipping on Xbox and PC. What about PlayStation? We currently have no plans for that. I could see it being handled like that. I don't think they could make noise about it. That would also be interesting. Asha's kind of she has an approach to things. But all of that said, I don't know if they go out and they just outright cancel anything because, again, they don't know where they're going. They don't have the stock. They don't benefit from exclusivity. But if you're trying to look for a safe plan, like something a little bit like, hey, we might be going exclusives again, and we probably don't want to just put Halo over there. I could see that. I'm sure every fanboy under the sun's listening to that. And Cog, you and I are getting timestamp somewhere in this episode.
Oh, you already know it. You got to.
That's my moment for sure. Because I'm just like, they'd be like, this man's fucking advocating for this shit.
He's championing this.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, bro, everyone's out for blood. Yeah. When I saw the CoreAI thing, I made like a meme dude, I got screenshot at least by 5 different people.
You could tell when the bookmarks hit.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Like when I this is peak for the shutting down Copilot. I saw the bookmarks on. I was like, all right, like this is just how it is, bro.
This is how it is, bro.
I see so many people deviously like, we'll be back. We'll see.
It's true facts, man. You have a strong opinion on something? Oh man, it's going down.
Yeah. Anyway, Doc, your thoughts on this?
You cooking, bro. I mean, look, we got the realistic vibe for me was like, wow, like we just talked about stock. In her defense, these decisions to put it on PlayStation were before her, right? These were not something that her management decided. But I will say this, bro, if she came out and made a mandate that what I would consider core Xbox franchises, burger, fries, shake, will no longer be going. And to your point, I agree. It would be a bit egregious and disrespectful to be like, we're ripping the logo off or something crazy, or you ain't getting that, or you don't like.
Yeah, I don't see the customer. I don't think that would be wise.
But I will say this: if she pulled off, we watched that showcase. And at the end of and you don't see a PlayStation logo, and then we go, okay, because you'd be like, all right, fine.
Yeah,
we go, and we'd be like, that's good. They're not showing logo. That still would be a W. They'd be like, yo, they're not showing logos. They're promoting cool. But then if we find out we waiting for the PlayStation Social to promote and we don't see it, and then we go, and then you have that little post showcase interview with either Jeff Keighley or someone got a chance to get a hold of her right after. Yep. So about that, at this time, we don't have nothing more further to comment about that part at this time, or there's some statement like, we're reevaluating with our core franchises right now. And we'll get back to that. Will shatter the internet. That will be the ultimate W for her in the short term, because that's what the Xbox fan base wants. The Xbox fan base wants less brand damage and less. I've seen people say, rip it all off. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work. Business-wise, corporate cog says no. It makes no sense. But if she had the gumption and the authority to do that, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a Phil guy. I'm a ride or die. Y'all know you can't give me, you love him. You do everything for They know how they get with me, right? They just for me, forget that I chastise them, criticize them. They know nothing. You just like I said, I like them. Forget it. Doesn't matter. No objectivity, but whatever. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Y'all want to know what the streets going to say? Phil, Asha, she do that singular move. Asha, I'm giving you the playbook. I just don't know if you got the authority to do it. She says from this point on, core franchises will remain on Xbox. And let's just say it's the concession is like how she did with Call of Duty with the Game Pass rip. Mm-hmm. The concession is ABK and Bethesda. You will remain multi-plat because that's how you've initially existed. That's how you've always operated. Mm-hmm. And man, they gonna erect a statue in front of Redmond. You know how to draw them?
Yeah.
You gonna see the
Arcane Phil. Yeah,
bro. I'm telling you, people gonna burn their Phil jerseys. They're gonna be like, shit is the what's my man Flame from Long Dead? She's the one. That's what they say now. She's the nicknames is all the parasocial nicknames, Empress, everything. Bro, it will be Cersei of Game of Thrones. who's coming through energy. But it'll be fun for Twitter. I would laugh just to see Twitter explode. I just don't know how it's going to work.
I'm just curious if any of this translates into anything meaningful for Xbox or if it's just social media optics, which is something. I mean, the view of their brand is terrible. So there is a win in that. But I'm curious if them doing that, there is like an actual business gain. So we'll see. But it's a good question. I figured we should at least do a little thought exercise.
Last point. The thing is this. Short term, it will hurt tremendously.
Yeah.
But if your intent is to be in the long game with a Helix and stuff like that, then these are the things that you got to do. We just don't know if Microsoft Game is going to be affording them based on what you said and the greed and lack of long-term commitment because they want ROI so bad. That's the challenge.
Yeah, 100%. Kyle, this next story goes off the board a little bit, I guess, because with Xbox comes acquisitions, and we have the story of one today. It's GameStop trying to buy eBay. Not sure if you caught wind of this one. Did you see the CNBC interview with Ryan Cohen, who's the CEO of GameStop?
Talk to me.
Oh, so funny. It's really, so they basically were asking him about the acquisition. So they want to buy eBay for, I believe the number is $55.5 billion or $125 per share. Now, as we've heard for years, GameStop is like going under. Somehow they're still doing this. So it's like, where are you guys getting the money from? We have this article here that I found from CNN. They say, for starters, the math doesn't quite math. According to several analysts, GameStop, which has already built up a 5% stake in eBay, is worth about $11 billion and has about $9 billion in cash. Then there's definitely there's another highly confident but not locked in $20 billion in debt financing from TD Bank, according to GameStop. So in theory, that gets you to $40 billion. Now, where's the approximately $16 billion coming from? Cohen, GameStop CEO, answered the question in an interview with CNBC on Monday. He said it's half cash, half stock, which is the term. If you look it up, the way he keeps saying this all interview, it's half cash, half stock. He says the details are on our website. One of the show's co-hosts kept pressing, walking Cohen through the numbers and asking him about the shortfall. And Cohen's response was, yeah, we'll see what happens. So then the host says, I'm just trying to understand where the rest of the money would come from. And Cohen says, half cash, half stock. And the guy says, I hear you. I'm just saying that the math doesn't get you to the price that you're offering. And Cohen then eventually states, we have the ability to issue stock in order to get the deal done. As a result, GameStop's shares have fallen 10% on Monday because it seems like what they're basically going to dilute their shareholders and try to get them to commit. Ryan Cohen also put on his Twitter account that he's selling stuff on eBay to help pay for buying eBay. eBay said they are reviewing the offer, but they have not talked about or talked with GameStop at all. So this is just kind of like hey, we'd like to buy you. They're making some noise about it. Lord Acquisition, your thoughts on GameStop trying to buy eBay?
This was a surprise to see on my timeline. The answers from the CEO are kind of hilarious to me. Half cash, half stock. That's how we do it,
bro. You got to watch it. It's so funny.
Probably watching that and hearing that sounds probably even more hilarious than reading it. I don't know, man. I mean, it's funny because I got my Transformers shirt on today, and I've been in my G1 bag, and it's funny this came up because. You know what's kind of interesting is GameStop has really transitioned a lot. You can buy a lot of figures. I actually got figures from them, you know what I'm saying, that I couldn't find other places, and they're becoming like a good resource for that. Now, what ends up happening is when you can't find these collectibles, what's the next choice? You got to run to eBay. And just a case in point, on my shirt, I have Soundwave, right? They just dropped 86 Soundwave, which is a classic figure, Studio Series 86, right? Prior to this, he had the tapes that used to eject and go into the other figure, right? These tapes are now confirmed to be compatible with the new Studio Series 86 Soundwave. Bro, the minute they announced this figure, eBay shop prices of Rumble and Ravage, all the little cassettes that go, they used to be like $9, $10, $100. Dude selling Rumble for $100. I'm like, damn, the price of the brick went up. Yeah. So it's so crazy. I was using GameStop first to see if I could get the collectible. And then I ran to eBay, you know what I'm saying, to see what the market was looking like. So yes, from a Lord acquisition standpoint, there is synergy here. I get it, especially with games transitioning the way in the digital market the way there is. It look like they don't got the bread though. Like, so that's why I was like, okay, this sounds weird. And then two, I don't know how gamers feel about them in this relationship, as well as eBayers. I don't know what you call them, eBayers. How do they feel? I mean, I guess one part of it, if to spin it, is like, okay, you have I don't know if they would ever go this way. Like, you'd have a location to go to at eBay, like a drop off. They can figure out some form of synergy. I do see the synergy. I just don't know if it's going to work, and financially, if it's really even realistic. So good luck with that.
Ryan Cohen was saying that they could like try to be a competitor when they combine against Amazon. I'm like, if Amazon viewed eBay as like a very big threat to them, I think they would have tried to get them themselves and just really helped eliminate that competition. Like, I really think that would have been their approach to it. I don't think GameStop's going to level them up by any means, but it's, for me, as someone who would shop at GameStop through money I made off of eBay as a kid, like I'd sell Lego minifigures there and I take that cash and go to GameStop, and then I would trade my games in from that I got from GameStop for more credit. And like that was my cycle as a kid to like getting games, was like just selling things on eBay. So it's like all that's coming together. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah. Certainly learned my lessons on how worse things can get. Like eBay's already got like a shit ton of fees, and it's like, I don't think that gets any better. I don't think this gets very far. I mean the offer is nice, but when it's like they're paying with shares, that definitely devalues things a ton. So I don't think this really goes anywhere personally, because it's like a small fish trying to eat a big fish in this case. But definitely GameStop sites are set far beyond video games. They have been for a while. I mean, they mostly, as Cog mentioned, like figures and stuff, t-shirts. Funko Pops was a big part of their business. Yeah. That's kind of gone under now. So they were doing like a junk day to basically get a one big tax write-off. They've been living off of this kind of pump and dump during the COVID days. And you could tell they're trying to get a juice somewhere, somehow. Mm-hmm. So I don't think people are going to bite on this one. Good try, but we'll see. I mean, it'll be entertaining nonetheless.
I agree.
Next up, Steam Machine. We've been hearing so much about it lately. Valve just said that basically the machine's done. It's just logistics. It's about just pricing, inventory, that sort of stuff. Well, it seems like this finally may be coming to an end. We saw a tweet here from Sadly It's Bradley that Valve has received a ton of game consoles this past week in their USA distribution warehouse. And there are like sheets that we can see that have all of this information for us. The last time this happened, Jimmy Champagne pointed this out. The last time this happened, when Valve got it, we got something a couple weeks later. So if Valve is taking in tons and tons and tons of game consoles, I guess this could be the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck has been out of stock. I guess this could also be the Steam Frame. We don't know yet. But presumably this is and also hopefully this is the Steam Machine. And so I'm wondering, Cog, with the Steam controller out now, did you order one first and foremost?
I did not.
I figured as much. Mm-hmm. I did order one because I wanted to try it out, but I'm with you on the sort of analog sticks, be in the same area. Definitely a little. I'm trying it for science. We very rarely get a new controller that actually plays and functions differently. So I'm like, okay, got to give this a shot. But with that, they did that separately. And I figured if the Steam Machine was even close, they would have just waited. So do you actually think the Steam Machine is close by? What's your gut check on this?
It's a Jimmy question, but I mean, gut check. I mean, they seem to be talking more, right? They seem to be, they seem to be kind of alluding that the market may be relaxing a little bit in the sense that they could drop in a specific window is what I'm kind of getting at. I don't know, man. There's a part of me that's like, I agree with you that if you're dropping the controller, why are you dropping the controller now if you're not ready to drop the console subsequently afterwards? So yeah, if I had to gun in my head, 75% chance probably, this year and, hopefully coming within the next couple of months and they're ready to go. Because I would be shocked you drop the controller, and then it's like, okay, you're not dropping the console till like next year. You know what I'm saying? Like it is weird. So yeah, it's probably that, and now with this particular listing, yeah, it could be Steam Deck restock, but it still doesn't preclude the fact that the actual Steam machine could still be coming right after that. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just want it to be at a good price. I don't care when it arrives. I just want it to be a good price.
What you need, but the price, what you need.
Okay. If I'm speaking like idealistic, it was like $650, $750 between the two SKUs. What I'm expecting is like $850, $950.
Okay.
I don't think they touch $1,000.
Okay.
But, again, I think about, it's possible Valve surprises us all and goes lower.
That'd be sick.
That would be really sick. And they do pay attention to what people say. And Valve, there were comments about how like people thought this was gonna be a $500 system, and the room got like really quiet because they were all probably sitting there like, well, it's not even close to that. So have they looked at their price and seen how they can get it lower? Potentially. I'm not holding my breath though. It seems like every company wants to be a hero in this story, but they just can't. They just can't.
Yeah,
too much stock is bought up and the prices are too high. And GPU, RAM manufacturers, they're making a killing. They're like, keep paying, keep showing up. We got you. You got to pay though. So I think maybe they'll at least, I don't know. It's really hard for me to imagine. They are importing them. So I guess they could get ready to sell them. But I'm like, if you just waited a few weeks and the controllers are ready too, why wouldn't you just do them together? So it's a little strange, all things considered. But
yeah,
I think it still probably has a chance of coming out this year at the very least.
I think so.
All right, Cog. Are the PS4 and Xbox One finally on the way out? Well, we just learned Call of Duty 2026 will not be releasing on the last generation of consoles. This was confirmed by the Call of Duty X account, where they said, not sure where this one started, but it's not true. The next Call of Duty is not being developed for PS4. So yes, in 2026, we have finally moved on from the PS4 generation. Meanwhile, in a somewhat related story, the Final Fantasy XIV director, Yoshi P, had said they have plans to sunset the PS4 version. And you've got basically a couple of years to save up for a PS5. And while Evercold will be fully supported on PS4, they say we'll probably be okay up until patch 8.3, which would hit sometime in early 2028. He noted, while cooperation with Sony's wonderful engineers has allowed us to limit break a few more times than we even thought possible, it will soon be impossible to physically contain all of Final Fantasy XIV on the PS4 hard drive. So he said you got 2 years to save up for the PlayStation 5. So, Cog, how are we feeling that we're finally moving on?
Let's go. Let's go. Good? Women and children first. Let's go. Exit down this line right here. I've been waiting for you guys to come on. Like, look, man, this is one of the rare examples where being an early adopter paid off. Think about it. What other generation can you say when you went out there day one and it was to your advantage that you got it at the best price?
The only thing I could think of, and it's not, you're talking like major manufacturers. Yeah, like never. Only time that's ever happened was the Analog Pocket. I missed out. Or no, I got the Pocket. I was like in one of their very late queues. So I had to wait forever to finally get mine. When I finally got mine, I did not have the dock, which was important because I do Retro Rebound. And I was like, the dock is perfect. I'm like, I can record my gameplay with this thing. That's sick. I didn't buy the dock though. And it's way more money now, but I ended up having to go on eBay and paying like $100 for this thing. And it was definitely not that price tag when it was launching. But it was way cheaper to get it at launch. Same thing with the Analog Pocket in general now, like because analog just takes forever with the Analog 64, the Analog Pocket to make and ship these things. And there's such limited stock. It's like, that's the only time I can think where like being an early adopter was great. Otherwise though, Cog, yeah, like it's just, we're in different times right now.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, no, I love it because look, you know, these games are getting big from Final Fantasy standpoint. He just said, look, the last update, we can't hold it anymore. You guys are going to have to jump up. Now, it does suck for people who had no intention of moving. Like, you're going to have to move. And then here's the thing. GTA is coming out this year. It's time, y'all. And that's the only thing about, even though this generation made a lot of revenue, from live service, my most frustrating part was the Fortnites and those Sinister Six games that made people say I am not upgrading. And I felt like that never got the generation to get going sooner. So yeah, I love it. It's great. And for Call of Duty, yes, hell yes, because Battlefield showed you what keeping that tether on that old generation it does to you. The only question I have is, how does this work for Nintendo Switch 2 owners? That's my only question, because I've yet to see their 10-year delivery plan on when they're getting anything. I'm just curious. Nintendo doesn't seem to be bothered, but it's interesting.
I've yet to see a new Star Fox game while we're sitting here.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It's coming out next month.
Okay.
June 25th. See how quickly they take you off the ball just like that? You don't care anymore.
Okay, I'm done.
You're good at that.
That's one of my favorite Nintendo fans. I do love me some Star Fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like Star Fox.
June 25th.
Nice.
New Star Fox game.
Let's go. Oh, they're going to be outside.
Yeah, it's kind of like it looks more like the classic Star Fox games.
Send me the link.
Send me the link. Well, they just randomly did. I was looking at because Micah and Brad were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
They just randomly did a Star Fox Direct. And here, I'll link it to you. You can see though, like they just randomly did this. And then if you just click halfway through the video, you'll just see the new Star Fox game. You can kind of see it in the thumbnail too, the new art.
Oh, bro, let's go. When they used to do those sounds. Bro, this was the game I'll never forget, bro. My Sega self, my little Sega fanboy self was in its feeling when I saw Star Fox for the first time at King's house where he had the Japanese Super Famicom. And I came home, I looked at my Genesis with disgust. I was like, you can't do that. I'm telling you, something about the 64 and the 3, man. Yeah, Star Fox. And then what's funny is I just saw the movie did you just see?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know Star Fox is in the movie. Yeah.
And I love the design of the ship. Looks so cool. Oh, yeah, I'm in.
I got in on Star Fox with Assault on the GameCube.
Ooh, okay.
You ever play that one?
Yes, I remember Assault.
Yeah, where you actually got like boots on the ground, third-person shooting. Shit was awesome. I loved that as a kid.
Oh, this joint looking Star Warsy, bro.
Yeah, looks pretty good. I have to watch the whole thing, but yeah.
I'm there.
I like that it's dropping next month. It's kind of very unexpected, but I'm like, okay, cool.
Take advantage. Synergy, transmedia, movie. Everyone knows who the character is, and good on Nintendo, because this I'm hard on them all the time, but this is good on Nintendo with anything not Mario and Zelda. You know what I mean? Like, build these other guys up. Let's go. I'm in. Very space.
Who cares about their Switch parts, right?
We're gonna do our Switch. What we doing? Punching up. Punching up. I might need the invite for this. Oh, they going through waterfall. Oh yeah, I'm in. This joint look crack. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, that's what I need.
There we go. All right, Cog's on board. Well, Cog, would you be willing to pay $80 for it?
Yeah, I won't have to.
Okay. Well, we don't know the price yet, but Bank of America has some thoughts for you on what the price of video games should be. And it's made some waves in the industry, and it's kind of like, shut the fuck up. All right. Here's the GameStop write-up. They say one of the biggest banks in the world, Bank of America, said in a new investor note that it believes Take-Two should price GTA 6 at $80 to help drive prices higher across the industry. This is happening against the backdrop where games are getting more and more expensive to make. The bank attended the recent Icon event in Las Vegas, where Take-Two boss Strauss Zelnick discussed GTA 6's pricing at a high level. It said in its note that GTA 6 should be the game that kicks off a new trend of $80 across the board. Omar Dasuki, the Bank of America security stock analyst who wrote the note, said he heard from attendees at the event that the video game business is struggling. He said the industry overall would struggle to sell games for $80 if one of the most anticipated games ever, GTA 6, comes out at $70. And given that, he said, we think it's in Take-Two's self-interest as a publisher and a partner to many developers to raise the price point for the entire industry, according to Seeking Alpha. Take-Two was among the first to hike prices from $60 to $70 when they priced NBA 2K21 at $70 back in 2020, which is true. I forgot about that. They were right on that shit. They're like, you're buying 2K every year. citing development budgets have increased as much as 300% in the past 10 years. The company later said it saw no pushback to the $70 price tag being the new price for major releases at Take-Two. Nintendo, for its part, sells Mario Kart World for $80, but early adopters got the game cheaper if they bought it with the $500 bundle, which included it in the $450 system, thus making it about $50. Every game is priced differently, even within the same publishers, as Take-Two launched Mafia the Old Country at $50 to great success, and Nintendo doesn't charge $80 for any game besides Mario Kart World. During his speech at Icon, Zelnick said that major new releases have actually come down in price over the years when you consider how inflation has affected pretty much everything else you buy these days. Games have held steady in the $60 to $70 range for 10 years, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, Zelnick said, with many theorizing what Zelnick meant here was that GTA 6 could actually be priced higher. So, Cog, we have Bank of America pushing. It sounds like it's got to be at least $80 for GTA. It sounds like with everything that's being said, there's no shutting it down. You know, we're waiting for the rug pull from Zelnick. He's been saying all the right things a CEO should say. But we're waiting for that $80 here. We've got a write in here from Terrorist Jerry. He says, hey, guys. What's going on with this Bank of America GTA 6 story? I'm sure you'll remember similar discussions last year when the price of Silksong was announced. Team Cherry and Rockstar are in similar position that they create the crown jewel of their respective industry, whether it be indie or quadruple A gaming. I find it funny that the other organizations have so many opinions about what the winners are doing instead of focusing on their own businesses. Rockstar's job is to make a good game and to make a lot of money from that good game. How that game negatively or positively affects their competitors is not their issue. Which is also true when people aren't considering that GTA Online is a thing. And that's how they're probably going to offset this if they go for $70, I think. Cog, is this the moment for the industry? Do you think if GTA holds at 70, we can no longer go beyond that? Because it'll forever be, even GTA didn't go for 60 or 80.
Yeah. The verbiage changes. Changes. Yeah, they're playing it smooth. Strauss is slick. Like, I think he know what he's doing. If any game is going to
waiting for his biggest payday of his life, bro. Being the CEO during GTA 6, he's just waiting for the big payday.
Fact, we know. Listen, I understand the realities of business, and I understand inflation. I understand the pricing, how expensive these games are to make has increased. I'm not minimizing that. It's just that, you know, we're at that price point again where I call us country club gaming now, right? Where we're like we're in this new zone where it's just so wild to be spending over $700 for a console, $80 for games, where we're completely pricing out this thing as a mass market kind of device. But if any game is going to do it, it's this game. And as much as gamers going to complain, they're going to be there day one. You know, and I could see it. Not that I'm advocating. There's a difference. There's a difference between what corporate cog seeing versus what consumer cog wants. Because consumer cog is what always I go with my heart first. I'm going to go for the deals, Game Pass, cheap. Yes. You know what I'm saying? $60, $70. Yes, please. $40 price point. Yes. You know what I'm saying? For games that I am a consumer first. I'm just looking at how the market is. And I could see them right now playing nice PR games, but Bank of America is like, oh, you know, you can set off the industry if you do it. You can see the greed. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? And I unfortunately would not be surprised because to your point, they pointed out, hey, you guys set it off with NBA 2K, the generation before. Like, what's up? So, yeah. We'll see.
Speaking of NBA, Cog, NBA The Run has been revealed. And it's arriving June 2026, just next month as well, right next to Star Fox. June's about to be a great month for COG, potentially. This comes from some of the ex-NBA Street developers, right? When they left EA, they formed this company, and they're working on a very NBA Street-inspired game here. JP has the right, and he says, hey, Dukes, I know you two have been disenchanted with the NBA as of late, but I'm curious if the upcoming game, NBA The Run, has you interested at all. They recently gave some people a hands-on preview, and it is set to release in June. It's developed by a smaller studio with some roots to the older NBA Street games, and I'm very much looking forward to a more arcade-style 3-versus-3 basketball game. I feel the lack of competent arcade sports games is criminal given the number of games that are releasing these days, so I'm hoping games like this can reinvigorate the genre. I thought it looked actually pretty good, Cog. I don't know if you took it, but like it's missing some of the style and flair.
Yeah,
that's what it's like. It's got the big dunks. It's got the guy like over the mic. Like it's got that, but it's missing the visual sauce. Like it's missing the visual effects. Like when you had the game breaker and like the dunks that just straight up fucking destroyed the court. Like that sort of stuff. We're missing that, but I thought it looked good. It kind of, I don't know, man. It kind of looked interesting. I don't think I'm gonna get it. But it's like I might buy to support is what I'll say.
Right.
When I say get, I mean like I might not play, but I might buy to support because I do want to see more like this. I bought. God, let me pull a game up.
Oh, so get to the archives, baby. Get to the archives.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Ooh,
NHL
hits.
Anyone? Midway Sports. Anyone?
Midway. That's from who's that from? Who's my dad with the Midway? I'm assuming that's the Booty era. So.
Yeah, that's Matt Booty stomping grounds.
Booty, Midway,
Booty forged my childhood, bro.
Yeah. Facts. Booty formed a lot of people. Sure
has.
Yeah, man. Look, this is dope. Definitely it needs to play good. I want to support it. But these are, I think, former devs from his original team. You could tell, to your point, it's indies, about 20 eyes, I think, maybe making this one. But this is NBA Street. This is NBA Street with a new name, and I'm for it because we need these type of games. As much as I'm the simulation, hardcore realism stat guy, you need these kind of games. And this is for the casual, and it also helps the actual league, to get their superstars out there, stuff like that. And shout out to them bringing my boy, hip hop legend and all that, Bobito, you know what I'm saying? Doing the commentary. That means they did their homework and they really paid attention to what the fans were. So I'm pulling for them. We need those stuff. What you pull out of the archive? What you got?
I just had to show you a game I got while I was on vacation. I can't believe I forgot to do this.
What you got? Oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had to get it because I knew you were huge on this. Is $5, bro.
Bro, that's crazy. Yeah. To this day, man, they still try to catch up with them offensive line and defensive line interactions. They still, first game to have halftime show. Man, that game was so ahead of its time, bro. So ahead of its time, man. Class. Oh, you got that 2K5. Let's go.
When I saw it there, it was not a cog. Look, complete. Hold on. There we go. Complete in box.
Bro, that game had EA and Madden shook.
Yeah,
$20. What's up? We outside. We want competition? We will show you competition.
I gotta check it out. You have me very curious. So I bought it because my brother's obviously a huge sports fan. So like he loves just playing sports games. So especially old ones. Like he's such a unique type of gamer. He goes through these phases where he just doesn't game for ages, and then one day I'll come downstairs and he's played the whole like Uncharted series in a weekend, like something like that, or. He doesn't like playing the modern sports games. He thinks they're ass, but he'll go and play like Madden 04 or something like that. Or he'll play like MLB All-Star Baseball on 03 on the OG Xbox. Like he's a gamer, but like not like I've never met a gamer like him where he just plays old sports games.
Yes, he's in his pocket. That's his pocket, and the new stuff doesn't do it for him. No, I get it. It's something.
He's not into the MLB The Show. College football brought him in.
Okay,
college football coming back. He played NCAA all the time. So did I, bro. Like, I mean, that was a moment for sports games, right?
Peak.
College football coming back, but otherwise, though, he doesn't play anything. So yeah, I bought this because I was like, we never had this as a kid. I don't think I don't think he's played it. So I was like, we should, when he's over next, pull that out.
Oh, I got to get the review. That's fire.
Yeah. This next one's more of a discussion, but I wanted to dive into it because, what's his name? Tim Kane. Holy crap. I didn't have the article. I was thinking Schaefer for a moment here. He, as he does all the time on his channel, has a slew of opinions. This one seemed to really resonate, which I don't think he expected, but this really resonated. He says, now we're in the 2020s and many gamers don't even look to influencers for reviews. They look to influencers they look to influencers to be told how to think about the games. So people don't form opinions from the online video. They're handed an opinion from the online channel that they are watching. And I'm curious, because I mean, you and I create content. I don't identify as an influencer, but companies still sometimes call me that, which I can't. I fucking hate that term, bro. I hate that term. It's way too, exactly. It's way too like, oh, the influencer. Like, you're going to move them in favor for us. Like, that's what you do for us. I'm like, call me a content creator. That's, you know, you can have whatever fun little imagery in your brain, and that will be my job title. That said, Cog, are content creators too heavily influencing the conversation? People like you and I, do people watch the Iron Lords? They watch Mr. Matty and say, I can't think for myself. I am going to take this opinion, and this is now mine.
This is a touch point, but a good one. Shout out to Tim King. I do like his content. This is tough because this affects me, right? And I'm literally the person, but I always got to keep it real on this regard. You know, being an older gamer, I do feel that too many people, let me say it this way. It's okay to go to someone that you trust as a resource for the games that you like, because that opinion aligns with the style of games and your opinion, right? There are content creators I go to because, hey, they play turn-based, or they love this particular game that I love, and they look for certain nuances that only I look for, that I'm like, you know what? If this person likes it, I'm more likely to like it. Or if this person doesn't like it, that's just good to know, because I'm very curious about that person's opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. Where I agree with Tim, though, is that in my experience as an older gamer, I feel a lot of gamers now, we're waiting. We're waiting for the Metacritic. We're just waiting instead of saying, you know what? I got my heart on this thing the minute I saw the trailer, and I'm going to go see it for myself. And there's a yin and a yang to it, because I get it. On one hand, people are like, yo, I'm not spending out $70, $80 for something that could be busted, broken. I need to wait. But on the other hand, some dudes I see do this. They wait for the popular opinion to formulate around something. And then they sit there and say, well, everybody don't like it. Everybody's saying it's garbage. And then they're like, yeah, it's trash. I've seen people jump on other people's line who have not played the game just because the person reviewed it. And be like, how could you give it a 6? You didn't play anything. I've seen dudes attack people who didn't play anything. So that's the part where I struggle with, because it's like, if you like something, I feel you should form your own opinion on some level of it and then come to your conclusion. It's okay to be nudged or, refer to someone and say, you know what, Maddie or Cog likes it or whatever. That's cool. But it's another thing to actually do it yourself and come up with your conclusion. So I'm torn with this one, because this is a very good discussion. But if I had the gun to my head, I think Tim is right, though. I think that this current generation of gamers is too influenced and don't think for themselves enough. I just wish we would have more critical thinking instead of being high mind. Because last point. Y'all know me. Some of my favorite games are 7s. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not, what's my classic expression? You're not going to tell me how my food tastes. Just because, right. And then there's games that, and Maddie, you guilty of it too, in a good way, where people be like, Maddie, that's a 10 out of 10. How dare you don't like it? You be like, nah, for me it ain't. You be like, y'all can go ahead and sniff that Kool-Aid. Liza P is that fire. Or this is that fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love people.
You had to say the...
You know what I'm saying? I love people who could have individual thoughts that doesn't necessarily always align with the hive mind or the popular trend of the day. You got to form your own opinion. I love it. I'll be like, word? Like, one of my best finds. I'm like, I don't care what nobody say. Kunutsigami is that fire. Midnight Suns is that fire. Like, I've got a bunch of games like that maybe 7s and 70 Metacritics. But to me, they're 10s. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But I'll let you continue. It's a fun, this is a good one.
It is. It's one of those things where I don't feel, in my experience, I've ever been deified by my own audience. Like, I don't get gassed up by my own. I'm saying, no, sincerely, I'm not saying like people bully me, but like, I see certain creators that, like, I'll pick one I really like because I love this dude. Like, I'll go to Jake Baldino's comment section. People fucking love Jake, right? Jake. I don't think he's deified by any means, but like, people just show up to show that dude some love, right?
I'll fight you for a slice of pizza for Jake.
Yeah, same. Like, and I'm one of those people. I fucking love Jake, right? Love Jake. So I think about maybe not creators like him, but there are creators that are even bigger than him who have that same type of following of just pure adoration. I don't have that experience with my audience ever. I feel like I'm usually on the razor's edge. That's usually where I feel I'm at. I'm like one title, thumbnail, video away from pissing everyone the hell off and feeling like I got to make it up. Like that's where I'm. So I don't speak from experience, but that doesn't mean that we're blameless is what I'm getting at, is that I think it exists everywhere. You know, you can feel it sometimes, even ourselves. I'll speak for myself. When you're on social media and I had it happen just yesterday with Asha Sharma. I saw the whole CoreAI team and I picked up that meme of that awkward smiling old dude who's like, oh, fuck, like that. I was like, I just put in quotes, former CoreAI team. And then I see the fucking Copilot shit. I'm like, oh, I'm like, wait, I reacted fast.
Right.
And I think it's that immediacy that we live in now, our society, and just our ability to get to something that quickly, where my feelings changed, where I'm now cautious. We'll talk about the CoreAI team in a little bit, but just to, I guess, set the table for that. I'm cautious about where I'm at with that. Not excited per se, but what Asha did, I'm like, okay, so there's nuance to that. And I feel like that's sometimes lost with the literal needle moving back and forth on social media. Do I think there's a ton of people out there that are legit sheep though? 1,000%, bro. You see it all the time. I feel like most YouTube comment sections even are a great example of it. It's not even down to the creator. It's like a trickle from that. It's like creator makes a video and saying something. Top comment says something either in jest or intelligently, angrily, whatever it may be, farms the most likes. And then beneath that are usually rehashings of the same thoughts that are also gaining likes, that create this kind of collective idea of what everyone's feeling. And that's kind of useful data, I guess, but it's not a whole lot of original thinking that's happening. And not like everyone's got to be a fucking scholar. But it definitely, we are in a time period where it just feels like sometimes if you hit like the wrong community at the wrong time, like you can tell now. Like you can tell now when something of yours has been shared somewhere and you see an influx of something with common talking points just like that. It happens at least once a month on Defining Duke.
Oh, hell yeah.
One timestamp, one comment, one of us.
Yep.
And it's all that. And they're suddenly, we take our whole comment section was fine. And all of a sudden it's all like 40 likes. Matt's a fucking idiot. 30 likes. I can't believe how dumb Matt is. 20 likes. Matt really did not pass high school. Like, it's just like iterations of the same thing, like that's how it goes. And it's like, oh, timestamp where, oh, it's me talking about something with Xbox that people didn't agree with. And like, that's how it goes. And the problem with it to me is it makes things so easily ignorable. It doesn't make them any less annoying when it happens. Like I have thick skin, but I'm also not one of those people who's going to sit here and act like I don't have that moment of like, really, dude? Like really, like we're still doing this in 2026. We're still like gathering everyone around and just going after someone. Like we're still doing that.
Bro, not to interrupt you, because someone checked me recently. I'm so good. Usually my skin is very thick, right? Just like yours. And I'm so good. And then someone said something that one day, they caught me on a good day. And I was like, I'm gonna address this. But I didn't at the person in the comment section. I just put a timestamp showing what I'm talking about literally contradicts everything you just said about me in this thing in Defining Duke. So one of the cool people on the LSM fam or whoever YouTube fam respond to Instacart, damn well you ain't had to do that. All the real ones know that justification, that classification that they try to paint you is not you, because this person does not listen. They come here to rage bait every and I needed that for my soul to say, okay, I'm bugging. Like, do people think this? Like, for real? Like, I was like, okay. Yeah. So it happens sometimes. A shout out to you. You know who you are. It was one of the most coolest, random response comments. To pick me up. I was like, oh, that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Like, I get it. I know what you feel, because I did a stream last week and I was talking about Dishonored having like a comeback on social media, but YouTube has like a character limit and I was at my max. So I put like, I do my titles. I was like, I think it was like something about Xbox. I think it was their financial updates. And I was like, Dishonored comeback, because that's all I could try to fit. So I had to like get creative with the title later, because I opened the comment section because I thought we had an amazing stream, right? So I go in, I'm like, I don't usually dive into my comment section with excitement. I'm just like, I'm just too fucking scarred at this point where I'm just always expecting like Genuinely though, like it's actually probably something I really need to work on, because I go in expecting to be getting fucking blasted every single video I've ever made for the last like few years now. Just every video I'm expecting to open up and be like, it's chaos, it's pandemonium down here, everyone's angry, Matt fucked up, get him out of here. Fortunately, it doesn't end up that way a lot of times, but this time it did. Because people thought I was, and I get it, it was like fair. People were like, oh, Matt, you like, we thought Dishonored was coming back. And I'm like, if Dishonored was actually coming back, I would probably put Dishonored 3 in the title, or I would say like Dishonored is actually like a new Dishonored announced, like, but I get it. I was like, okay, I understand the wordplay here. But man, the way some people word it sometimes is crazy. Like some dudes like, Matt, he was like, Matt, the fact that you said Dishonored come back in that title, he said, that's genuinely shitty of you. And I was like, I said, geez, I changed the title, guys. Like one thing I fucked up, but like genuinely shitty. I'm a genuinely shitty person because of this. I'm like, okay, maybe not. The point being though, is like, it's this kind of constant circle go around, because none of the comments were about anything else except that, which is fair. People wanted to be heard, and until they're heard, they're going to keep doing that. So it's the give and take. I needed to hear that, is my point. I'm not trying to bitch and moan. I needed to hear that so I could change my title. But at the same time, it does feed into other parts of the conversation. Particularly, I think the negative part, I imagine that's what Tim was more leaning into. I feel like that's where we really see it. You don't get many like positivity grifters.
Yeah,
it's like a very fruitless business.
Yeah, it's like, so funny.
It's difficult, I think, for a lot of people to actively, openly like things nowadays. But you don't make a living like that guy likes things. Sincerity wins people over. So I think people loving and glazing things endlessly lose out bigger than they do to hate on everything.
I agree.
But making everything negative, that does trickle effect,
bro.
1,000%. That's something we can all feel.
That's the cheat code. Like literally the algorithm rewards it. It's no doubt. I'm not hating on nobody getting it back. Do what you got to do, because people, some people try to survive out here, and I get that, but it is, and I've had these conversations with developers, I've had these conversations with PR companies, and sometimes even when you just try to make a pitch for certain things and you're like, look, we do certain things our way. It is very easy for me to put you in a specific situation or say something in a specific way and title my whole things the same way. If we did that, we would blow. I know we blow. It's just that I personally don't want to do that. And the sad thing is that, unfortunately, creators who live by this code, they're not rewarded for the most part. Now, I will say it's not sob story. There are people that we got a lot of respect. I'm not going to sit here and try to paint some always me picture, because it's not that. But it took a long time, and it took a lot of grinding and a lot of, okay, those guys are legitimate kind of stuff and physically going and stuff. But yeah, to your point, I know people where I know the playbook. As soon as whatever this new news comes out of a cycle or something, I know how the thumbnail going to be. I know how it's going to be framed, and I know what they do, because a lot of it is rage. But I just saw something real quick. I know you saw it. Did you see, this is non-game related, but you understand the point. Did you see the chick that was like, I don't know, I'm just saying, girls, if my man played games,
everyone was responding. I'm like, why are we giving this?
Why are you even responding to it?
Like,
what this is.
So obviously taking everyone for a ride.
I think only Spawn Wave is the one I saw was like, funny, like this is the yearly rage bait thing of the thing from a sex perspective, a different sex perspective, to sit there to try to demonize men who play games. You're like, women, you don't really like that, but we just and try to like really, and then the gaming community, they triggered, so they bit, and I was like, no, that's what she wants.
Everyone's like popping their relationships in there. Dude, like, I'm married, I play with my wife, I play with my girlfriend, I get laid all the time. I'm like, bro, okay. I was like, guys, I'm really proud of all of you. But like, you just fucking loaded this chick up.
Exactly. That's what she wanted. Now you click the link. If she's got a video, if she was smart, she'd probably do that. You know what I'm saying? You get, I'm like, I'm not clicking you. No, I know what you try to do. Into the abyss you go, and off your head off my timeline. Mute conversation or delete. I'm not even responding.
I will say, I think the internet's more wise to it now.
True.
I've noticed there are particular grifters that have completely fallen off. Like, they still try the whole song and dance, but like, it's just not, I don't know. My timeline is pure, clean, and I don't really moderate it much either. Like, I don't got to mute many people. It's just like, it's just not gaining the traction it used to.
There's a good point too.
Outside of like a subsect. And so again, I always said is just like sincerity wins the day. You know, that's all. I think all of us, not just creators, but just sincerity wins the day. Like you just gotta, you know, what's your truth? What's your true thoughts? The internet will make you feel bad about it. But like at the end of the day, if you're in this race to always be right, which is what much of social media discourse is, like who's first to be right? And there's no, again, I'll go back to that tweet situation, if you want to call it that, from yesterday, where everyone would like start throwing screenshots in like, why'd you delete that, bro? I was like, yo, I jumped the gun. What the fuck do you guys want me to say? I fucking jumped the gun. Like, are you gonna put a gun to my head now and be like, yo, why'd you do that, bro? You know the answer. I fucking deleted the tweet because I was like, yeah, a little hasty of me. But like, I feel that most people nowadays in our industry specifically, not people in general,
I know where you're gonna go.
Would be like, what are you talking about?
Yup.
I ain't even answering that. I didn't see shit.
And leave it. Facts. The accountability.
You know, like it's that's the thing is like, I just feel that's all people care about. It's like, are you a rational human being who can do right and wrong and can admit when you're wrong? Because like, you know, the industry gets such a bad rap at times. There are a lot of assholes here, but there are a lot of people underneath it all, the anger, the way they approach things and whatnot. I think there's just a lot of care and just wanting people to do their best. They don't maybe word it the best or approach it the best, but there is a lot of just like wanting the best, absolute best from you.
I agree to an extent. I think you are correct that there are more of them. My only issue, and I think we've said it in a prior Duke before, is the ones that love you are the less vocal, even though it's more of them. So I would just like every once in a while to offset, you know, with the battle, as far as like, if you love something, sometimes we got to say it like, yo, man, that was really dope. You know, what you did. I really like that. Sometimes big up that creator or big up that person, or you know, if not that you got to fight every battle for a content creator. I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like you're right. The majority, they want us to win. They love us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're just not as vocal as the people who have the agenda.
It's not their job. You know, like that's the thing. I think some creators put more pressure on their audience than they should. I think that part of the audience shows up when it's necessary. You know, I think about what I went through a couple of years ago, and like people stepped out, and like that's it's like, you know, that's when it matters.
That's a good point.
You know,
that's
a good point. About ego.
Good call out.
Appreciate Tim Kaine for the conversation here. Cog, this one I picked for you. I've got no thoughts on it, but Marathon has story plans for the next few years. Is this a commitment? Well, in an interview with Games Radar, creative director Julia Nardine said, "We know where we want to take the story over the next few years, but I don't want to say it's completely locked in because it's important to us that players are able to help shape it." So when you see this, Cog, are you convinced the future of Tau Ceti is on lock? Do you think PlayStation is hanging with it? What's just a little, I don't know if this is in your what we're playing section, but like little gut check. How are we feeling right now? Do we see this long-term story playing out?
I'm worried. I love this game, but I'm worried. Unfortunately, you know, I haven't got a chance to play as much as I would like. And I feel guilty about it because I really love the game. And they've done a lot in a short period of time, and the feedback they've done for the community has been amazing. But I'm going to say something to the hardcore bros. They're not going to like it. They're going to have to put a casual mode in this game on some level. And I know people are like, no. And I know, shout out to my Ray Guns and my Travises. So I got Travises. I know, I feel y'all. Y'all don't want it. But if you want the health of this game to survive, it is just too intimidating. It is just too much for the casual.
I'm thinking of that Kobe Bryant gif.
Yeah, soft.
Just shaking his head. Soft.
You can be soft or you can be dead. I like alive. You know what I mean? So I want you to live. And sometimes, just sometimes, there's a mode that comes out for a game that ends up saving the game. That is least expected. Like I remember when like stuff like zombies came out for Call of Duty for the first time, you know, just certain little things where you like, okay, the hardcore, like that ain't for me, but low key, this is what's people are coming to play. Right. And sometimes you got to serve that up. And they're so impressive on tripling down on who they are. I respect it. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, there's a lot here. Just imagine just a little PvE mission mode with the runners versus the thing with a slight narrative beat between seasons, right? Just give a little PvE co-op joint and advance the story. I'm telling you, man, they got to do something because I believe them. They got the plan. Are you going to last to it? Are you going to exist to make it? Is my question. So, we'll see. But I love Marathon for sure.
All right. Well, I'm glad it's still delivering. And let's hope they make it. Cog, this next segment, it's a brand new one, ladies and gentlemen. As we collected your feedback a few episodes ago, you said that you wanted at the end of the month, beginning of the next one, to kind of look ahead at games. So what I've done for you all is rounded up some of the larger, smaller, lesser known. I've got a whole mix here for you of every game that I thought you may be interested in coming out May 2026. We've got their platforms here. I've got their Steam descriptions and any write-ins that kind of fit into any of these games. I will have read out here as well. So give feedback on this segment. Let me know what y'all think. Of course, there's ways to make it better, I'm sure, but wanted to just start off with addressing the games and their platforms and that stuff. So on May 5th, by the time you've already heard this episode, is arrived, Motor Slice, only on PC. This is from a small team where they let you parkour through a brutalist post-apocalyptic world with smooth gameplay and engage in seamless combat encounters. You must use your skills and agility to find your way in this desolated place. Play as a girl named P and use everything at her disposal to escape from deadly traps, run, climb, slide, crouch, wall run, perform stunts, and even use your chainsaw to cross impossible distances. And it's really cool. It's got like this chainsaw sword weapon that you'll use to kind of like deflect items back, but also use it to run along walls. Looks really interesting. A bit overlooked, I would say. So give that a look. Mixtape will also be out by the time you're hearing this episode. Mixtape is out on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, PC. It says, on their last night together, three friends embark on one final adventure. Play through a mixtape of memories set to the soundtrack of a generation. En route to their final party together, a perfectly curated playlist draws three friends into a dreamlike reenactment of their formative memories. Experience a variety of narrative vignettes exploring the pivotal moments that shaped them. Players will immerse themselves in the teenage wasteland by playing through a mixtape of joyful gameplay, from skateboarding and flying to taking photos after hours at an abandoned theme park, hitting baseballs, putting on a fireworks show from the backseat of the car. It's the greatest hits of the teenage experience, from the first kiss to the last dance. From Beethoven and Dinosaur, developers of BAFTA award-winning game The Artful Escape, Mixtape draws inspiration from classic coming-of-age movies, bringing together nostalgic aimlessness, mischief, music, the highs and lows of adolescence, and the bittersweet feelings brought by growth, transformation, and moving on. Featuring music from Devo, Roxy Music, Lush, The Smashing Pumpkins, Iggy Pop, Susley, and The Banshees, Joy Division, and The Cure, and many more. Skate, party, avoid the law, hang out, sneak out, make out. There you go, Cog.
Yeah, they got a make out mechanic. Very intense, by the way.
And do they really? It's a mechanic?
They have a tonguing mechanic.
Really?
Yes, I saw it.
I was about to say this game sounds interesting.
Oh, no, they definitely go there with certain things. And shout out to the developer, the best Transformers name I've ever heard. The developer is Johnny Galvatron. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Hey, super dope dude. I got a chance to hear some of his talks from GDC as far as narrative and storytelling. Something you as a developer would have loved to. Yeah, this guy, he gets it. So I'm pulling for them. I saw a little bit of the game. Me and Rook, we got a chance to cover it briefly. They just didn't have, the dev wasn't there at the station. And that kind of game, I want to ask questions as opposed to just play. Cause I don't like playing games at showcases, to be honest. I wait till I get home. But sure. Got my eye on this one for sure.
Okay. Subnautica 2 enters early access on Xbox Series consoles and PC May 14th. Subnautica 2 is an underwater survival adventure game set on an all-new alien world. It is the next chapter in the Subnautica universe developed by Unknown Worlds. Driven from your home by ongoing conflict, Altera offers you the chance at a new life. But at the colony ship, Cicada shepherds you and your fellow pioneers to your new home. Something goes awry. The ship's AI insists that your mission should continue. Stranded and faced with near insurmountable odds, you must do everything in your power to survive. The future of humanity on this world is in your hands. And obviously we know that the developers at Unknown Worlds went to battle with Krafton, ended up winning because Krafton's CEO is using I think it was ChatGPT to ask them what he should do as part of this case. And so it just all came out. It was bad. It was really bad. So shout out Subnautica 2. Shout out to the developers Unknown Worlds. Looking forward to this one. Forza Bros, your time has arrived this month. May 19th, Forza Horizon 6 arrives on Xbox Series and PC. They say discover the breathtaking landscapes of Japan and over 550 real cars and become a racing legend at the Horizon Festival. Start your journey as a tourist and explore a world full of hit music and Japanese culture. Build a valley estate, acquire awe-inspiring homes, and display your prized car collection in fully customizable garages. Cruise the roads with your friends and join car meets around Japan. Unleash your imagination with Event Lab and build together in the Horizon Collab. Your journey to a Horizon legend starts now, and Japan awaits. There you have it, Forza Bros.
Can't wait, baby. Yeah, can't wait. We go back.
This is a very busy period because now you're getting to the time where there's just multiple games releasing in the same day.
Yeah.
Thick of Thieves comes out on PC May 20th from Warren Spector, who is the studio director for Deus Ex and Thief Deadly Shadows, as well as Paul Neurath, who is the executive producer for Thief, both the Dark Project and the Metal Age. They say, enter the shadows in this introduction to Thick as Thieves. In these shadow-draped streets of Kilcairn, fortune favors the bold. As a member of the Thieves Guild, you'll undertake daring heists to claim precious heirlooms and uncover arcane secrets hidden within the alternate history 1910s Scottish city, where magic and early technology have begun to collide. Whether working alone or playing online co-op, only the most cunning will seize their fortune in Thick as Thieves. It looks pretty solid, but also like they were talking about how like they're approaching stealth differently. And I was looking at their game overview trailer, and it's just like, it reminds me a lot of that Thief game that came out in the 2010s.
Yes, I'm looking at it now. Give me that energy.
Very reminiscent. So we'll see how reviews go for that one. This one's got my hair, the hair on the nape of my neck up a little bit here. Just a little worried.
Okay.
May 21st, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book arrives on Switch 2. Play as Yoshi and help a mysterious talking book named Mr. E remember the creatures living within his pages. Open him up, explore colorful habitats, and experiment with each creature to learn all kinds of surprising facts across every page. Beautiful art style. I will not be playing, but for the Nintendo bros out there, this is for you. Zero Parades for Dead Spies comes out on PC May 21st. This is by Zaum, the development team that made Disco Elysium, but the staff who made it has since left. So keep that in mind. Brilliant, burnt out, possibly cursed. You play as Operant Herschel Wilk, alias Cascade. 5 years ago, you led your team into the abyss and have been haunted by your failures ever since. Now, you've been recalled for a mysterious assignment that may only give you a chance to prove yourself again. And much like Disco Elysium, it's a narrative-driven, it's basically a visual novel style game.
Yeah, that game. I covered that game. Shout out to Subag. Shout out to Rook. We covered that one, and very pleasant surprise. I might be in day one. I played the demo. Demos, I believe, is out on Steam still.
It is. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. And I pleasantly surprised. Disco fans, I think you owe them a shot. I understand controversy. Sure. I'm not getting into that. I'm just judging the merit of what I played in this specific game. Mm-hmm. It was impressive, and I was like, I might have to be there for this one.
Is it funny? Like I heard Disco was funny.
Disco, I remember I only played the demo in that initial thing. So Disco had a little more humor, but this was good too. Man. And I felt the skills, the way they were handling skills was better. The skill checks, the way they were doing it was even more intense and dope. So yeah, I like Zero Parades, what I played so far.
Okay, cool. I like the premise. It sounds very interesting. But see, the thing is, I would normally have this on my, like, I'm going to play this. But
just so much, bro.
No, it's not so much. It's just, I gotta play Disco.
Oh, he's right. Yeah,
which is play the OG. Like I was gonna play Esoteric Ebb. That looks the most interesting out of the three to me. Yeah. Like it just looks so funny. But I gotta do Disco. Yeah. I've been flirting mentally with the idea of firing it up on my Switch.
Disco's funny, and Disco also has that voice narration. I mean, Zero's gonna have it too, but Disco, the voice narrator, he'll put you in a place. You wake up in a trench to your own vomit. Like, it's just funny stuff. You're like, yo, what's going on with this dude? Like, why is he such an F up? Like, what's going on? It's just, and then it's the Revachon and the time period and the music. And it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Bubsy 4D arrives on PS5, 4, Xbox Series 1, Switch 2, Switch 1, and PC on May 22nd. Join Bubsy on a new intergalactic platforming adventure. Yeah, we couldn't believe it either. The world's most infamous wisecracking Bobcat has returned to 3D with new challenges, new moves, and even more personality. In space, run, jump, glide, and roll across alien planets, battle robotic sheep, and collect tons and tons of yarn. What could possibly go wrong? Bubsy's long-standing enemies, the fleece-obsessed woolies, have stolen all the Earth's sheep. Oh, well, that ain't Bubsy's problem until the sheep overthrow their captors and return as deadly bots, empowered by woolly technology, determined to steal Bubsy's most prized possession, the Golden Fleece. With the help of the motley crew, by the way, this is the longest write-up of almost any game here, and it's Bubsy 40. Just respect to the effort here.
Facts.
With the help of his motley crew of acquaintances, Bubsy must journey through space to defeat the bots and take back the Golden Fleece. Luckily, he's acquired some new skills to navigate the expansive craft-themed levels. Bubsy can leap, glide, claw his way up walls, pounce off of enemies. He can also puff up into a new hairball form to roll at blistering speeds. The team at Fabraz crafted this expressive new moveset to cater to beginners and speedrun enthusiasts alike. Once you've mastered Bubsy's clawsome new moves, show off your skills by upholding your best level times on the online leaderboards for other players to race against. And I've seen some Sonic fans kind of eyeing this one down. It's this one and then Demon Tides, which is on PC only. And Demon Tides looks really sick. That's an open world 3D platformer, but it basically lets you combo craft with your 3D platforming moves. So you can like combine different move sets and like jump, spin, glide, and like get to all these different locations in the world with ease. It's really good looking stuff. So that's what's in my brain right now, but I do want to check out Bubsy.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good.
We covered it.
It looked pretty good.
We covered it. Shout out to Fabraz. I always mispronounce the name. We covered it when the exclusive debut, and we have a write-up on launch of game. Shout out to Donna Taku. He set off a spicy opinion, please, talk about move over Sonic. Bubsy's here. And Sonic Bros was tight. They was like, don't you do that. But he was like, yo, I'm feeling this. And look, I will say this. It was a pleasant surprise. You could tell the developers are having fun with this. They know who the character is. That he is kind of obscure, but they're really leaning into it. So be on the lookout for some stuff with this. And I am very curious if they can land the play.
I just remember Jason telling us.
Shout out to Jason.
Yeah, he was like, "We're doing the craziest game. You guys won't expect it at all." And then he sent us this. I was like, "Oh, is he for real?" I was like, "Fucking Bubsy 40."
Bubsy back.
That's funny.
I know. Shout out to Jason and them.
Also on May 22nd, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight will arrive on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, and PC. Embark on a journey that begins with the origins of Batman as a young Bruce Wayne who trains with the League of Shadows, become the hero of Gotham City, and forge a new family of allies with Jim Gordon, Catwoman, Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl. Confront an ever-growing threat from across Batman's rogues gallery as you face the Joker, the Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Bane, and more. Play as Batman with an exhilarating new combat system, combining fluid new combos, stealth techniques, and detective skills to take on crimes across the streets and rooftops of Gotham City. Command a full range of Batmobiles and Batcycles, including the legendary Tumbler, as you navigate an open and immersive Gotham City. Grapple, glide, or drive through the open world with agility and speed while discovering crimes, challenges, rewards, secrets, and iconic landmarks such as Arkham Asylum, Ace Chemicals, and Wayne Tower. I think this will be like probably the best thing I've played. I love the Arkham games with all of my heart. I have felt literally something, a part of me that's been missing since they have gone away. And kind of Shadow of Mordor filled that a little bit. I haven't played Shadow of War, but like that free flow, but like it's the world, like the Arkham world. I love the comedy of a Lego game. And what I love what this game's doing is it's telling like an original, I would call it an original remix, is what, from what I've gathered. So they're taking like the intro from the Batman animated series and they're using that to like introduce the story, but it's not a retelling of the animated series, but they're using all these nods across like Batman's film history. Like, have you ever seen this? Here, I'll just send this to you.
Talk to me.
Have you ever seen this tweet from Michael Caine about like he was quoting Batman Begins?
Oh, and stop.
And so he put on Twitter, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up. Batman Begin. That's like, that was the tweet.
Wow. Yeah.
And they put it in the game.
That's
Alfred
crazy.
says, why do we fall, sir? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up. Batman Begin.
Bro, they better. Let me tell you right now.
They canonized the typo, bro.
I love it. I love it. Listen, for me, all you said was one villain, and I'm in. I am the biggest Bane fanboy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So all you got to do is throw in 2 Bane quotes. I am from the League of Shadows. I'm here to fulfill Raul's destiny. All you got to say, give me the back breaking scene. Pay some homage to that.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw the little leg. I was like, I ain't go for it. You may have got me. That's one of my favorite Batmans is that Bane character. I love it. Hardy and whoever did that voice, amazing.
100%. Yeah, dude. I cannot wait. I really can't. So the only thing holding me back here is a write-in from Weston J. He says, hey, Dukes, this is mostly for Maddie, but I definitely want Cog to chime in on this one. Have you seen the controversy around the Lego Batman PC specs? It is one of the most anticipated titles of this year. A few days ago, the specs of the PC port dropped. In all cases, frame gen is recommended on all settings. It's even asking for you to even get 30 FPS, you will need frame gen on lower cards. Is this cause for concern? I was very excited for the game to release in 2 weeks, but now it's a wait and see. Last time a game needed frame gen to run at an acceptable performance, it was Borderlands 4. And we all know how that was last fall, and we know how Randy Pitchford fought a fucking war over that one.
He was upset.
Does this create another bad precedent for games being optimized at launch? How can a Lego game be so unoptimized? It's not like this is The Witcher 4, but I would love to hear you guys and what you think. I hope you all have a Asha might just save Xbox kind of day. Weston, we appreciate you. I don't agree with the stance people take of it's just a Lego game. A lot of people say that like it's just a Lego game. Why is it running like this? I'm like, it's beautiful, guys. Like it just because it is a kid's aesthetic doesn't mean that there isn't like technical art happening and that the world isn't very big and there isn't a lot happening in that world. If you watch the gameplay, like you see there are NPCs walking on the street. There's random activities that are spawning. There's rain falling. There's real-time lighting. Like there's a lot happening in this open world space. It's a beautiful, demanding game. That's not to defend it, but just I'm not cherry picking you, Weston, but I'm using you as an example because there've been a lot of people who have been like, it's just this for a Lego game. I'm like, this Lego game is beautiful. And this Lego game is pushing some things. And you can see that. Does that make it okay what's happening here? No. But Lego, like the name or the brand doesn't matter. It's about what I've talked about before. It's optimization. It's talent that's clearly there, but can you optimize so that you don't need frame gen? This is what I talked about when we were getting into DLSS 5 a lot. And I said, look, man, this is the slippery slope. I said, we're already at the point where we are leaning on DLSS for stable performance to get 30 frames on low cards. It's not you got 30 frames because we optimized for the lowest cards and then the frames that we're going to give you are in addition to. This is getting us there to the nans. That is a problem. And yes, using Borderlands 4 as an example makes a lot of sense. That PC port was ass, dude. I've never gone more hot to cold with a game where I came out, I was like, I think they did it.
Yeah. I
was like 15 hours in, I was like, I'm fucking kind of loving this game. But everything from performance to the gameplay was good, but everything from performance to the story to the pacing of the world just PC? Fell off a fucking cliff.
You were playing on PC anyway?
Yeah. Wow. Also, every time I fired it up, they had to like compile shaders for a long time. And I usually most times like PC games, like they unpack all of that and then you're good. Like for example, when I played Pragmata, like I fired it up, compiling shaders one time, played it on my Steam Deck one time, you're good. For some reason, it just kept happening because I think they kept, actually, if I remember it now, they kept updating Borderlands. I think that's what happened. So they kept having to recompile the shaders. Anyway, Weston, I think your concern is warranted. I would, if you're going to play this on PC, especially, I would wait and see. But yeah, I understand how you look at this and you're like, what does this mean for the Switch 2 version? What does this mean for PS5 or series consoles? So I don't blame people for waiting and seeing. Me, I will not be waiting. I know, but I need to be there day one. I've been talking about this game since it got revealed last year. I've been like breathing down. I feel so bad for the people who work at WB. I've been like, I want to review this game. Well, hey, it's Maddie. Sorry about it. I just saw previews went out. I know I wasn't invited. That's fine. But hey, I would love to continue covering this game. Like, can you hook a dude up. Like, what's going on with that?
Gotta shoot the shot, bro.
So yeah, like closed mouth doesn't get fed, right?
Facts.
So
bro, I wouldn't got Shinobi if I didn't do it. Like how you do it.
I am not relenting on this one. But if you are, again, this is my job as a reviewer, and also I'm extremely excited about this. But if you are like a paying customer, day one, day and date, I would totally be like, hold back, see how this goes. Then I think the quality is obviously there. We'll see though. I would be surprised if suddenly this game's actually asked to. But again, if the performance looks good, I feel like this is going to be a safe buy. So just don't even, pre-ordering is never a good idea anyway. So just hold back a little bit, Weston. Hold back. And then day of, I'm sure reviews will drop before launch anyway. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they'll drop before launch. And so you'll have time to make a decision. Mm-hmm. That said though, Weston, sorry, last thing I'm a little wary because I saw Game Riot put up a little preview impressions of Lego Batman on their Twitter account. And they did mention some serious PC performance problems. And that was in a preview setting. And you and I know, like when you get into that preview setting there, Redfall is the memory I have of like, they will front on you. They will do anything possible to make sure that thing runs well. So you walk away with a...
it's in their best interest. Yes.
It's in their best interest, right? So for me, after Redfall, I'm always like, I don't care anymore because this could run buttery smooth. Yeah. I'll talk about that a little bit with 007, which I played. I'm like, I saw your spec sheet, dog. Like, that's all I need to see to be like, I'm off balance now. So I don't trust that. Anyway, when Game Riot said that the preview had serious PC issues, like, okay.
Oh, boy.
In the moment you're trying to win people over,
I know.
We're a few weeks from launch, little concerning. So
yeah.
I would have some reservation on that front for sure.
Yeah. And we got to usually also when you see like a very lengthy known issues documented prior, so you got to be careful. So I'm pulling for them, man. I hope it's not the case, but yeah, we will see.
Last game here. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. 2 games left.
Yes, sir.
007 First Light comes out on PS5 series consoles, Switch 2, and PC on May 27th. Follow James Bond as a young, resourceful, and sometimes reckless recruit at MI6's training program and discover an origin story of the world's most famous spy. After a heroic act, young naval air crewman James Bond is offered to join the newly revived 00 program. But when a mission to stop a rogue agent ends in tragedy, he must join forces with his reluctant mentor Greenway to expose a deep conspiracy and stop a looming coup at the heart of the state. The game is said to be 20 hours, which surprised me a little bit when I saw that those numbers came out, especially with what I played. But this is one that I'll talk about in the what we're playing section, but definitely one to keep your eye on for sure. But it's kind of similar to Batman, where it's like looking really good, but the PC spec sheet that was a whole part of the conversation. It's a little uneasy there.
Okay, I'm looking forward to what we're playing on that one to hear what you got to say because I'm very curious.
Yes, and then last but not least for May that stood out to me. Cog, you ushered this one in. Echo Generation 2 Xbox Series PC on May 27th as well. Echo Generation 2 is a turn-based sci-fi deck-building RPG from the creators of the award-winning Echo Generation for Best Indie Game, Best Narrative, Best Soundtrack. In Echo Generation 2, you step into the past as Jack, the father. What begins as a family vacation spirals into a mystery of hidden experiments and possible realities and the truth behind it all. Cog, fill us in.
Bro.
Echo Generation 2.
I got to shout out Attic. He didn't want to put me onto this game. Bro, this game has shot up to like number 2 right next to Forza for this month. Like I'm stopping everything.
Wow.
For Echo Generation 2. I played that. I highly advise you. I told y'all last dude, play that demo. Bro, what I like about it, not only is the turn-based great, the art style's beautiful. The story's hilarious. And the thing that makes it so dope is that if you're a veteran, like this is a challenge, bro. You got to put things together. And the thing I like about it is I am a person that likes turn-based because of Midnight Suns and the deck building. And you give me properties, abilities. It's got a little persona. It's got a little metaphor. It's got things to it. when you start creating powerful synergies and then offensive attacks and buffs and debuffs and stuff like that, it gets so deep and it just looks so cool. And it's that whole 80s aesthetic. I feel like we're in this time frame where you get like a little, it feels like Stranger Things in pixel art, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. Bro, Echo Generation 2, I am so there day one. That is literally probably out of all these, this is like my literal number 2 most excited out of everything. Cannot wait to play the full game.
Yeah, honestly, you got me very curious. I didn't realize until, I'm glad we're doing this segment. I didn't realize how busy May was until I put all this out. I went from, oh, nothing's really happening early May to like, oh shit, there's a lot happening in May.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Out of this whole list here, you mentioned that it's Forza and it's Echo Generation for 2 for you. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Zero Parades, I'll be there. PUBG, I'm gonna check out, and I ain't gonna front. Mixtape, man. It's Johnny Galvatron, man. I gotta see. I'll be liking them little, almost like a Life is Strange kind of.
It had that vibe to it.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the write up for this one the most out of actually anything here. Like I have no doubt like Lego Batman's gonna be the game I enjoy most this month, but Mixtape, like the way they talk about vignettes, memories.
Yes.
Kind of that like 90s coming of age story.
I love
Life is Strange
like
is, gets clowned on a lot for its writing. And I get it in some instances, but like I really liked how Life is Strange's dialogue was very corny. I normally, I mean, guys, you've heard me talk about writing before. I know that's like shit you've never heard me say. I get it. But like Life is Strange one's like use of hella. Like people are always like, I fucking hate hella. I'm like, fuck off, dude. Fuck right off, dude. Like they ushered in a word I use all the time from like when I was growing up, like hella. That's hella sick, dude. Like I use hella all the time. I hate to be that guy who's like, I felt seen. But boy, did I feel seen when I heard hella getting ripped in the game. I was like, someone up? So they had some 40-year-old heard some kid like me say hella and was like, yeah, that's what they do. That's what they all do.
That's what they do.
And I love it, man. So yeah, Mixtape has me interested. So I know by the time this is out, reviews should be out. Reviews might even be out right now. Yeah. I do want to look into those though. At least the write up here speaks to a little bit of soul.
Yes, yes. I love that. Like I said, coming of age, period piece. Time, and then here's the thing: the synergy with dialogue and music. So yeah, I'm there. I want to see.
Yeah, surprisingly, I mean, today we're recording the day before the game releases, and there's no
buzz,
no reviews,
no reviews.
Hands-on previews from October. Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
So they're doing reviews day and date.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, for me, Bubsy, I'm gonna try. Gotta see what's going on with Bubsy. Just because, again, I learned a lot about Sonic tech with all of my retrospectives on the Sonic games.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Bubsy with some of its movement options. I like what I'm seeing there. Batman, of course, is on the list. 007 definitely on the list. So it's going to be a busy end of May for me, for sure.
Crazy.
Zero Parades, I want to, but I'd be a fraud. I got to do Disco.
You got to do Disco. I already know.
So Disco might be the front half of this month.
Right.
It really might, like as in now, because I finished Pragmata, so I have like nothing to play right now. So.
Bro, and of course, I'm gonna be in Japan. You know what I'm saying? I'll be spinning the whip in Japan. You already know how that goes. So I'll take care of the Forza Bros for you. Don't worry about it. I got you, Forza Bros.
Or will you?
Ooh. Shots. Caught myself. That was definitely crazy.
God, let's talk about what games we're playing here. Oops, I put it in the chat. Let me put it in the... So for those who don't know, we do a footnotes section on Zencastr where we record.
Yes.
And I put it in there's a chat and there's a footnotes and it's really hard to tell what section you're in. And I just put our timestamp in the chat. Cog, what games are you playing this week?
Bro. So technically it's not light, even though today's going to feel like it's light, because I am playing 2 games under NDA. I can't talk about, you know what I'm saying? But the one that I can talk about, obviously I put it up on socials.
I saw this on socials. Pull me in.
Yeah, shout out to Sad Cat. Shout out to Yara. Replaced, I've been giving you smoke for weeks. And the reason why I've been giving you smoke for weeks is because I couldn't play you and I loved you. and you had the nerve to have a game-breaking bug on 2 different platforms, and it just really affected my experience. So I had to do the call out, I was as nice as I could possibly be, man, about the bug and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it finally got fixed. Believe last week. It pissed me off. It got fixed. I'm on my flight ready to leave to LA and come back home on my recent trip last week. And they like, yo, the patch is out today. I'm like, great. I'm on my way to the airport. I got time, right? Patch ain't ready. And I'm looking at the certificate. When is it going to update? So it didn't update until I got home. And I'm like, man, I want to play this on the plane. So I was tired about that. Then the weekend happened and whatever. So anyway, so I get to it. So pretty much what the patch did is it did not fix the bug. But what it did is it gave you a chapter select. So now, because remember, the problem with the game is everything time you do something, it auto-saves. Anything that it considers major, it auto-saves. And it auto-saves frequently, but it also auto-save the bug, which is this, hacking mechanism mechanic where you pull out your phone and you're able to manipulate items and stuff like that. So I was able to just restart a little early in the chapter, get back to where I was, and it worked. And I'm like, yes. So let's get to it. All right. Outside of the technical bugs, outside of I got to give them smoke on the latency, the combat is grungy. It's very 2D Arkham flow state kind of style. Counter, you can reflect bullets. You got a light attack, heavy attack.
Okay.
When you hit the counter, it's just a delayed input. You can't do successive moves very fastly. If they could have implemented that, and the dev is aware of this. Apparently, this is something else that they're working on, right? And all I'm saying is all these little things is heartbreaking because, Maddie, this could have been one of my game of the year type games. So I'm in my Maddie bag where I'm like, man, I gotta be harder on you because it's like, what is it, the Star Wars? You were the chosen one. You were the one, bro. I loved you.
That was like margins, very close.
Fact, I love this game for the minute I saw it. I remember it like it was yesterday, 2-3 years ago. I was like, what is that? There is nobody doing that. That 2.5D background to foreground. And bro, let me tell you, man, this game gets to a point where it is beyond stunning. There was a section where you kind of go into a town, like a section where obviously this government and Phoenix Corp and all of that, everything's watching you, Big Brother kind of energy. Right. And there's a stealth section where there's a picture crossing a street at the most busiest freeway going, and there's cars going into the background and the foreground. There's traffic. It's one of my pictures on my tweet that you'll see. It's the very fourth picture where they show bro, if you see that in motion with your character, and then what you got to do is you got to stealthily hide between the crowd and cross the street while there's a drone in the middle of the street surveying to see it, to detect you, because you are this half human, half AI thing that everyone's on the hunt for. If you see that thing in motion, brother, there's no game doing that. It is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And it just a depiction of an 80s city with that level of pixel art and that level of detail. Stunning stuff. Some of the backdrops, stunning really stuff. Good. Story starts to heat up, starts to get into a little, look, there's no voice in the game, which I know could be an issue for some, but it's telling a narrative of a guy who goes through some form of experiment. AI is a factor. And I like the message that the game is trying to say about this AI that has kind of merged with you. And without spoiling, I felt the payoff was good. I felt the message was good. But the problem with Replace is that it does get in its own way with just the responsiveness of the control, the responsiveness of the fighting, the latency. But I still tell people, play this game, because what they have accomplished, what they intended to accomplish, is still one of the most beautiful pieces of art I have ever seen. And it is fun. And it's crazy. The only other, they have this stupid little trope that is annoying though, that is like, Reach, which is your character, he always falling all the time. He's always falling into something. He's always trying to sneak around and falls through a ceiling thing into beef. And it's just, but I will say some of the flashbacks, some of the memory, the mini games, the little story questing, good. Replaced, you could have been the chosen one. So you end up in that 7.5-ish, 8 range because of the issues. But I love, this is one of the 7.5s though, that I love. I hope we either get a DLC.
Okay.
I hope, I don't know if he's moving on to Yara is moving on to the next thing with Sad Cat and their team. But you give me excuse to play this again, I am there day one. So that's my hope for the team. I don't know what's their roadmap. Shout out to my boy KSRT Everborn. They interviewed Yara last week. I got to listen to that interview because I didn't want to listen to it because I was like, damn, the patch is out. I want to beat the game. I don't want to hear the developers' thoughts now. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So Replace, man. I still, Duke fam, give it a shot because now at the point where it's at now, I could recommend it based on the patches and stuff like that. And there's still more coming. Apparently he's going to address, he said, the latency stuff. So yeah, more power to him. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. And nothing else you can talk about, right?
I can't talk about that. I'm dying to talk about the other two, but I cannot talk about 2 other games.
Understand.
Yeah.
All right. For me, then, I will step up. I do have one thing under NDA. So I can't talk about that yet. What I do get a chance to talk about are the 2 games I was talking about last week that
let's go.
I said I would have been fine if I talked about them, but like kind of worked out, I guess, just to be safe. It gives me a little more to talk about. So I'll go through those pretty quickly, and then I'll talk about the main game I've been playing this week. I previewed 007 First Light. So when I was on my trip out in the Pacific Northwest, IO Interactive had invited me to check out 007 First Light, which timed out really well. And that was a really cool opportunity. So when my wife and I were originally planning to go home on Tuesday, we jumped on a plane over to LA and we checked out I checked out 007 for about 3 hours. So I got to play the first 2 missions of the game and then a mission in the middle of the game and got a feel for everything from the smooth talking, the kind of infiltration style gameplay, to the stealth gameplay, to the shooting, to the action set pieces. Got a feel for the acting, the presentation. It's all there. I played this on a PC and I don't know the specs to that PC. And if you paid attention to the spec sheets, for 007 First Light, IO Interactive like put them out and then retracted it and then put up a new one saying like, hey, our bad. This is actually the real one. We had a miscommunication. I've just never really seen a miscommunication when it came to PC requirements for a video game, especially when they were kind of dramatically different too. So I'm still a bit skeptical on it all, but I did not have any issues whatsoever with performance when it came to 007 First Light during my preview. The actual hook of the game for me was the melee combat. It's very bar fight style combat, Cog. It's so fun. Like you're throwing fucking haymakers and like you have like a grab button you can grab and then you can sprint while grabbing them and just throw them into a wall. And then items on the counter are interactable. So you'll just like grab, a glass and hit them over the head with it, or you'll throw it at someone across the room. You'll use your little Q-Tech watch and you'll like blind someone and then go up and like do a finisher on them. And everything's reacting to you. You're throwing people into boxes, tables that are breaking. You're throwing enemies into other enemies and they're all bouncing off each other. It allows you just to, again, I struggled so hard to play this game in stealth because the hand-to-hand combat was so fun.
Okay.
It's some of the most fun I had with a hand-to-hand combat system that wasn't like an Arkham game where you're just, where you're free flowing in that game and you feel like a superhero. This game had a little bit of that. I mean, you were chaining the enemies with ease. There were like counters, dodges, that sort of stuff. Enemy archetypes were a little interesting. Like there were dudes who would pull up and they were like in suit and ties and like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to rough you up. And then they would do like full on martial arts and like you'd see them kind of get in the stance, roundhouse kick, everything. I'm like, oh shit. And like they were a lot more lethal. So it felt very real too, even though it was like crazy and stupid and fun. But just the chaos within the hand-to-hand combat system is so fun. And I just didn't care when my cover was blown. I was like, I just want to punch people in the face in this game. It's weird how good the fist fighting is in this game. It's definitely, to me, the highlight.
Nice.
The stealth is pretty good. I viewed it as more what I defined in my preview as like stock standard, like it's not reinventing the wheel, but the core fundamentals are really good. So the controls are really good, or the way the enemy AI responds to you is really good. For example, if you're spotted and the whole level doesn't know that you've been spotted, just the group of enemies nearby. And then maybe one of them takes out a radio, and that will let the whole level know.
I like
you
that.
can run in and knock him out real quick. And it's not just a quick punch in the face. Like, you have to rough him up a little bit. And then if you keep roughing him up too much and you hit him into a wall near someone, that might chain into a noise, which lets that one person know and they investigate. So it's not like it's a immersive sim stealth where you're finding a ton of hidden passageways, which I think was a little bit of a missed opportunity, all things told. I mean, at least thus far. It was a little bit of a missed opportunity to just not be able to maybe use my Q-Tech watch to unlock unique routes within the level itself outside of the people you interact with, but maybe that'll change. I just remember growing up with 007 Agent Under Fire, where you could use the laser on your watch and open locks with it, open vents above your head with it. That shit was really cool. And I know those games are smaller. That was the main path, but that idea was there. And I think expanding upon it here, I hope they do. We'll see if they do. Right now, what I saw, they didn't. But the stealth fundamentals are good. And so you'll kind of just move from cover to cover, crawl through levels, stealth takedowns. Like I said, you want to make sure you don't alert anyone. It's a little Watch Dogs where, you'll use your watch to, I was in a training facility one time and they had training dummies that were lying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And as a guy was walking by, I'd just activate that with my watch and would pop up, hit them and just knock them out. So that sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
I saw a lot of Hitman comparisons in people's previews. And I think that's a little bit of a dangerous precedent to set, because I don't think Hitman drops you into a level, a whole level. And they're however you want to go about it. And as you progress and level up in that mission, they'll give you new spawn points that let you get to certain points of that kill easier. Mm-hmm. And so there's just new refreshing ways to play a level over and over and over again. In 007 First Light, it's delivered to you in chunks. It's more of a linear action adventure game. So you'll go into an infiltration section and James Bond will have his suit and tie on. You're at this gala. It's okay, how do I get into that room there? And in my case, I used my watch to disable someone's camera. They thought their camera was broken, so they put it down. I blinded a guard to go into the room where they put the camera down, grabbed the camera, took it to a woman who was looking for a photographer she's never met before, pretended to be that photographer, and she walked me through the door. I talked to another previewer there. He just blinded both guards and walked right in.
So we got the different ways of approach.
So we had different ways of approach. I wouldn't call it Hitman level, though, by any means. At least from what I saw, Hitman really is a true, unprecedented level of freedom. And it makes sense. The whole game's built around that. Yeah. But this is not 007's got 18 ways in. It felt like maybe 2 or 3. I could be wrong again, but that's what the preview showed me. And based on conversations I had with other players, seems like a handful. So you're not going to get in a million different ways. There's usually a set number of ways. And from there, it would transition to another segment. I got in, now stealth. But it's not old school stealth where if I got caught, mission restart. Or, everyone's on you maybe once they let the whole facility know. But you can fight your way out of that. The game doesn't really punish you for getting caught outside of just sending enemies your way. So I do like the way they've handled stealth. And from there are sections where you get a license to kill. And it's okay, open fire. It's a third person shooter now. Hitman's not known for its shooting. It shoots fine enough, I guess, but you don't use your guns in Hitman for anything other than a low score kill where you're just poof, right in the back of the head. And that's if you're going lethal.
Right.
Right. In this game, though, the shooting's really good. Very responsive. I mean, you kind of feel like John Wick a little bit, with the because with the hand-to-hand combat and then the way you can slow down time and just kill everyone real quick, James Bond's fucking lethal in this game, dude. So it's sick. I mean, I grew up with a lot of 007. I said in my preview, I grew up with more 007 games than movies. I played Agent Under Fire. I played GoldenEye. I played Nightfire, Everything or Nothing, From Russia with Love. I just grew up with these crazy 007 games. I love them. I played Quantum of Solace. I just think 007 games are really fun. They've always been unironically fun. Way better than they have any right to be. And I think this is going to carry the torch. I think it was a really good showing. Again, I've kind of only laid out my complaints thus far, which really came down to level navigation and maybe some limitations. I just feel it's trying to be different because it is something other than Hitman. But I think leaning into the Hitman sensibilities a bit more actually would have been really fitting for this game. But I don't really know IO Interactive as storytellers. I think like Hitman has interesting stories and characters, but not like, oh, that's extremely memorable from the point of like impact. But the game is supremely acted thus far. Like whoever's doing James Bond, I forgot his name. Great job so far.
Okay, because this is a controversy. I don't know if you know.
Oh, is it?
Oh yes, a lot of. I'm just thinking of King. I'm thinking of. I think even was it Jake? I don't want to put Jake under the bus, but I remember when we first saw the trailer and like hardcore Bond lore guys. That guy's too young looking in the face. Like they don't like the actor chosen, so to speak. Right?
I agree with I think a more established Bond would have been interesting. Okay. I agree with that. I don't get behind the whole origin story and waiting. It feels very Uncharted how they're approaching everything from the game's design to like, watch this character grow and become more experienced and have to make tough choices. I would like to see a more suave.
That's what
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah,
James
that's what
Bond.
they're saying.
That to me, that's like the Bond image in my head. Pierce
Correct.
Brosnan. Like,
and they were like, this looked like generic Bond X. like that's their criticism. So I'm curious because I don't have that level of attachment or the lore with it. I know of Bond, but I'm not that. But the Bond dudes are like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
you gotta thank Daniel Craig for that too. I mean, he's like establishes a really great older Bond. It's good shit.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just curious. But it sounds like you said the gameplay sounds dope. It's fun, and from the combat standpoint, stealth is serviceable. We're not going to get crazy Hitman level, but serviceable. And I like the expression you use. Whatever was your template stuff, whatever you use, it was funny.
But you go the chunks. Yeah. It's got good fundamentals. It's looking like a good game. I don't think it's going to blow my socks off, though. That's why I was a little taken back by the previews. I was like, this is definitely going to be good, I feel, unless the story completely falls apart.
Right.
It's got good set pieces. It's kind of like what we used to. I've been saying this a lot lately. I kind of like where we're headed, Cog.
I know you're going.
Kind of like what we used to got during the 360
days. Yeah. 360 energy.
Breaking up into little chunks and like deliver them a nice linear story. And so far the story I think has been presented really well. The music in the game was also really good that I think kind of heightened things. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know there was some controversy on, was it Lana Del Rey? I think she did the intro. She sang the intro for this Bond game. And a lot of people were like, I don't know, it doesn't feel particularly 007. So I don't know how people will feel about that. That's publicly available. But I thought the music for like the cutscenes and stuff was really good. Whatever you feel about the guy's face, sure, but like the actual performance, like his voice, and his voice acting, just really good shit. So
that's all I need.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. But I didn't get like Hitman 3 when I played that in January. I was like, game of the year. I'm not gonna play anything better than that. This is definitely a really impressive showing though for a company that's known for stealth games where you mainly just walk around and kind of like simulate being a hitman and killing people in the most sadistic ways imaginable. It's a really different approach to them. And I'm very curious about if they're, they were asked about Project Fantasy recently. I'm curious if that ever sees the light of day. That was the Xbox game they were working on.
Yes. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
What else?
Other game I was playing, I reviewed this on my Retro Rebound channel. Invincible Versus.
Talk to me.
Oh man, dude. If you're a fighting fan, in the most literal sense, I think you'll really like this. If you are looking for a fighting game with real single player sensibilities, campaign, the challenge towers, all that stuff. Oh boy, dude, you are going to be so let down.
Yeah, Soft told me on Sunday.
Did he tell you how long the story was?
They went in. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm dying to hear your impression because I got the preview. Of what they told me. I was like, really? Wow.
I have never felt more mixed about a fighting game story because COG, it's 1 hour for the audience.
That's what I heard.
But, dude,
okay,
this is such a good hour.
Okay,
so that's my take on it. I'm like impressed. I'm thinking to myself, hey, give me 5 more hours of that.
Right.
And I'm thinking we might be able to stand toe to toe with NetherRealm. Like that's where my head was at. I'm serious, bro. Like this thing starts and just doesn't let up. And I get it, it's an hour. So people are like, oh, who gives a fuck? I'm not defending it. I'm just saying for a $50 game, I don't agree with the whole, pretty interesting case study we got here. And I cranked it in my review for a long while. Gotcha. At the same time, it is definitely from the Killer Instinct devs who didn't have a story in the first place with Killer Instinct and then brought in a story here and presents it really well. I mean, the animations between fights, like normally in fighting games, especially NetherRealm games, you don't see the fighting super often in the cutscenes. They, maybe like 1, 2, 3 punches and they back up and then you see it go to the gameplay camera and they say some one-liner, camera backs up, fight. So like that's what usually happens with the NetherRealm games. But this game, like, they fuck each other up and they like very faithfully animate it to the show style. Like, it's really good. And it's this seamless sort of like crashing into buildings, landing, getting up, and then they're fighting. It's a very well-produced hour, but it's still an hour. And for a $50 game, I'm sitting here like, man, okay, you guys put a lot of time into this. I can tell because, again, the cutscenes are really well done and the fights in between are well done and the story's interesting, but bro, the story's not even done. And I'm like, how do you have an unfinished story in 1 hour?
That's what Addict told me. He was like that, bro. He said it was heating up. He felt like completely blue balled. He was just like, and then it's over. And you're like, what? Yeah. That's what he told me.
Okay. It was such a blue ball that I had to look up while I was reviewing the game. I'm like, are they doing like episodic releases? Like, cause I was like, oh, I'm going to get caught. Like, I'm going to be like, yo, this story is great. But I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to do like chapter 2 comes out, May 20th.
Right.
But I look at it, I'm like, oh no, they just said like, that's the story. They were transparent. They said it was going to be like the Adam Eve special, which was like an hour long. And people were like, but that, I could live with this, but there's no real other single player modes here. There's arcade, and the arcade endings, Cog, I think would make you very upset because they're just kind of like Redfall slideshows where it's like character model pose. And the camera's just like panning around them.
Text?
Voice.
Okay. I mean,
standards are this low. Okay, voice.
Yeah, I mean, damn. Like, because again, this is questions I asked on ILP. We just covered it. I was just like, and they were like, yeah, everybody has an ending. So I guess theoretically there are endings for every character. But now you telling me it's just a pair. I would have been cool with the static image and text. Like, remember the old Mortal Kombat endings? And be like, and this is when Shao Kahn did this, you know what I'm saying? And, so, damn, okay.
Yeah. So that's a bad. If you will. And the bad is pretty good, all things considered, because again, I really had fun with the story. It just was a level of like, wow, you guys went all out for like this little. Like, I would have said cut the arcade mode if you're going to get more out of the story. Like, the story should have been finished. If it was at least 3 hours and it was a complete story, I think you could have, salvaged something there. But what you're here for is just pure fighting. If you want a fighting game, as I just described to you, like your offline play options are over in an hour. So you better like fighting online because that's what Invincible Versus is here for you to do. Fortunately, they're ready for you. Rank system is here. Great lobby system, which has become a little bit of a rarity outside of games not known as Tekken 8, where, I'm looking at like Dragon Ball Fighters and they're like, hey, join this lobby in this room and find this avatar in this shared lobby and then contact with them and then invite them to a fight. And then you have to invite your friends from there and there's no lobby system. I don't know how fighting games get there. I'm like, fighting games are all about getting the homies together for like King of the Hill.
Facts.
Right? Facts. Like King of the Hill, Mortal Kombat 9. That's what defined online fighting games for me. So this game's got that. Like, it's good to go. It's ready for you to play offline, player matches, rank matches, whatever. The fighting itself, it's punchy. It's got great animation work. It's gory, just like the show. The characters wear damage on their face. They all have like unique intros with one another, unique outros with one another.
I love that. That's really personality. Good. I love that.
Yeah, really good personality. Very faithful to the show. The actors they cast to fill in, like, for example, Alex Lee plays as Invincible, who's usually played by Steven Yeun. I think Alex Lee does an amazing job really capturing what Steven Yeun sounds like, to the point where I was like, I thought it was Steven Yeun until I was like, after I finished the story, like, let me check who's who. And I saw Alex Lee was the lead. I was like, that's really fucking impressive. And there's a lot of people in the story. Like, They did a really good job with like some of the recasts they had. They have some original actors, but they did a really good job with some recasts here, which is rare for me to say. But the actual fighting to that point, you've got what I would define as like a hybrid between Killer Instinct, Dragon Ball Fighters, and Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom is obvious. You got Tag Fighters. It's a 3v3 fighting game. At the same time, it also reminds me of Fighters, which is a 3v3 game, because of the presentation. Like when you press down in the heavy attack button and you hit them up in the air, like the camera rotates.
Yes, I did see that,
in that angle, and then you like rush up to them. So some of the combo synergy and the way you chain attacks together, very Dragon Ball Fighters-esque, which is my favorite fighting game of all time. And then you got Killer Instinct, 2013. One of the most really, I think, tremendously overlooked games of that generation. Launch game, my favorite launch game on the original Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And that game had a sort of responsiveness, is how I define it. I played, for those, I don't remember her name because it's been a while since I played it, but I played as the spider character. And there was a level of just like, you press the X button for a light attack, bang, like arms out, just like boom. Or, you know, the medium attack, like boom, boom, like that. Like it's just very quick. And like it just button response.
Nice.
And so this game is a lot of that as well. So you can feel the DNA of the old devs combined with the inspiration from what they've played coming together. And it's a really good feeling fighting game where you can chain some sick combos together with ease. If you are not a big fighting game fan here, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're an Invincible fan, you're like, I'm not a big fighting game person, but I've always wanted to get into them. It does have auto combos. You can press the square button in the case where I was playing on PlayStation to your delight, and it'll do like a chain combo into a super attack. But I do find this to be very accessible it's one of the best examples of being, at least for me as a more casual fighting fan, accessible without completely bending over to being like, everyone can come in and just do massive damage and aggro. Like you have to be good, but you can also come in and have a good time.
Right.
And that's why it's a shame the single player stuff is not great because
fill it out.
Because the fighting is so good and so approachable and so learnable. The tutorial is not overwhelming where it's like, you know, here's this type of tech that you've never fucking heard of in a game before that only like the top 1% of fighting game players actually use. And you have to learn this as part of like key part of our fights. Like it does a really good job of, I think, making it approachable, digestible, and leaving you wanting more. The roster is 18 characters deep, pretty good. Again, for $50, wish there was more, but the quality is the name of the game here. It's a real quality fighting game. The presentation's great. The voice works great. The fighting itself is great. The stages look great. The characters look great. Story's presented well. But because of that push for just quality in every area, you do get, unfortunately, a little bit less back. So I think $50 is a little rich for some people's blood. I get that. But if you like pure fighting games, like, yeah, I like to go online. I just like to just beat random people up. I think you'll have a really good time in Invincible Versus. Kind of caught me off guard.
Nice.
Now, the game that I have been playing the most, it's done, and I'm going back in. My current COG game of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
We doing it.
Pragmata. Oh, man. So when I said this is one of my most anticipated games of the year heading into 2026, when we were sitting down talking with Sir Bradley Ellis, I was like, okay, you know what? Like, it just is the mixture of the puzzle gameplay with the third person shooting. Looks different, looks refreshing. I think I'll like this. Man, I hope you play this, COG. As someone who loves Initsugami, you know, like I love weird Capcom. You love like kind of weird Capcom.
Yes.
Pragmata is that, but more AAA, as in like bigger budget.
Yep.
This game has it's such a magical game to me. It really, they've somehow captured, again, I mentioned earlier with 007, like we're talking a lot about, oh, this felt old. Some feels old in a good way, you know, in a bad way, right? Like, so like 007 kind of harkens back in some of the ways that maybe aren't going to be as favorable to that game. But this game harkens back to a particular type of fun factor that is so PS2, GameCube, of just like, bro, boot it up and play. and play it again and play it again because it's just fucking fun to run around, shoot shit, level up in. And without it being a grind fest, right? Like today, it's like, oh, it's just fun to play. Usually translates into I have a live service addiction. You know, that's usually what it is. No offense.
I know, you're real. You're real.
But,
it's real.
But when it comes to Pragmata, it's just a really well thought out, well tested gameplay loop with a great world, amazing exploration, and a fantastic reward loop. And so I beat it last night. I don't know, COG.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yes.
Oh,
powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, great ending. One of my favorite final bosses in recent memory. And just a really strong finale. Like to me, just completely landed it. And I know I love something because when I finished it, I was like, when I say I want more, I didn't mean like I was unsatisfied. I was like, not ready to walk.
You still want to be in this world? Yeah.
Like, here's New Game Plus. We got a new difficulty for you. We got this mode for you. Come on in. The water's fine. Now, my only critique is with the new difficulty being added in. I was like, oh, New Game Plus, new difficulty. Can't quite do that. You can do I played on standard, which so there's casual and there's standard. Those are the only two difficulties available.
Okay.
When you beat it, you unlock lunatic mode, which I think is hilarious, by the way.
It's a hilarious name.
You cannot do New Game Plus lunatic mode, like unless I beat it on lunatic, which is a little disappointing. I get it. The idea is like, you got to be a lunatic to play this. So you got to start from scratch, but you spend so much time upgrading and investing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to carry all that into the harder mode where they said they change up like enemy placements and encounters and that sort of stuff. And I wanted to do that with the end game stuff I had. So if I want to play New Game Plus, I have to play standard again, which is a good challenge at certain points, particularly in the end. But it feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity there. And I won't talk about the other mode because it's story related. But dude, this gameplay loop is some of the best that we've got in a long time. Like if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm so tired of like the same shit from the same publishers, the same developers, this is the game for you. Like you want to see like AAA experimenting and it's not Kojima where you have to like kind of bite your tongue on like, oh, this is fucking weird, dude. Or, oh, I'm delivering packages, you know? And I love Death Stranding, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like you lose something with it. Right. If you want a game with a capital G that has you run around shooting shit, but it's got that weird spirit to it, it's experimental. Like this is the game for you. The way the hacking works where you're aiming at an enemy and how it evolves over the course of the game with boss fights and the weapons that you can pick up. Like you can get sticky bombs that if an enemy's hacking node is gigantic, if you attach the sticky bombs to them, you can shrink the grid. And so now hacking them multiple times over is really quick. I ended up going with an overheat build. So when enemies were overheating, that puts them in a state where you can run up to them, press the right trigger, and you just put your gun into them and boom, and it's like a finisher attack where it does massive damage if it's an enemy with a lot of health.
Fire.
So by the end, like I was putting in mods that were like increase overheat by 10%. And then I used overheat mode for my general, like you can have offense mode, which is like when an enemy's weak spot's exposed, you'll do more gun damage. But I went heat mode. So it's like when I shoot the weak spot, the heat gauge fills. So combine that with the mod with me using a certain weapon that is designed to build up that heat gauge even more so. And that was just like, and I also upgraded critical shots, which was an attachment that allowed you to get on the hacking node even more of like the ability to like go up and just do that finisher. So I'm just like triggering this thing often. I'm like, and when you do it, you knock everyone down too. So it felt good to find my pocket. I'm like, oh dude, you could also play this like a straight up hacker. You could do this where like you could chain. There's a hacking node called chain and you can just keep rehacking over and over and it just chains off and does more and more damage each time. There's nodes that you can hit like expose, which each time you hit like an exposed node, just boom, tons of damage. So you could go like complete hacker build if that's what you wanted to do. It's just tremendous how great of a job they did with this hacking minigame, you know, where it is part of a like survival horror core where you're like aiming at weak spots and shooting. But this is the benefit of a big publisher like this experimenting, because I can guarantee what happened is they made a shooter like this, which involves shooting weak spots, and they went, we've got Resident Evil. Who wants to do this in space?
Right.
And I think that's fair. I mean, I would have probably done it anyway. But then they probably came up from that point with like, yo, this puzzle mode and just aiming at someone and using the face buttons to navigate the grid and kind of that splitting your attention, that moment of like, oh, he's marching toward me. And like when you dodge at the perfect time and you slow down time and you aim in, you're like, all right, I'm going to hack the fuck out of you now. It's like, boom, 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 boom. It's so well tested, so well done. Truly an exceptional video game. And I think that says a lot when Capcom just put out Requiem, not just because it's crazy they even did this back to back, but it's crazy for me. I mean, Requiem is top 3 right now for me, no doubt. But Pragmata just eclipses it a little bit more because of, it's just an original gameplay mechanic. And it's a really fulfilling loop of going into these levels, finding my pure lumen, finding the Luna filament, finding storage expanders, finding mod chips, finding augmentations, finding all these things that just change how I play the game in really active, tangible ways. And then just going back and seeing like, okay, how do I want to do all of this? Like, I love that shit. It just hits that part of your brain. So much so that they have like a training sim mode where you get training data and you could try these. The game's got such a well-developed gameplay loop that they just got like a challenge system. It's just like, go beat some challenges. So there's just, it's a good video game. It's got a great story. I think it's a little predictable, but it's got heart to it, which is why it had impact for me.
Yeah. And
but
I heard the dads and the,
I'm not even a dad. I'm a dog.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like it even hits even more for them on top of that. And people who are not parents also, for sure. I agree.
And I'm not even someone who's like tired of the whole sad dad thing. Like a lot of people seem to like this game because it's like, oh, they have a good relationship. Or,
that's what I heard. It's not like that. Yeah, it's different. And,
I mean, but you see why it goes sad dad, because the game doesn't have a ton of tension. You know, its story is great for other reasons. I think it's the relationship, it's watching them interact, but it doesn't have like this absurd tension or conflict which drives plots. So it was definitely probably a challenge for them to write this story, but it's why the story takes a little bit of a hit. You know, it's just like there's a reason we get sad dads a lot, I guess is what I would say. That said, though, I really enjoyed everything about this game from top to bottom. I'm excited to play some more. Not quite ready to walk away yet, but I mean, I got most of the achievements. Like it's such a good game.
What are you, Resident Leon's been dethroned
very quickly. I didn't expect it this quickly. Again, it's the originality. Like Requiem is such a building to the moment and such a member berries journey, but also incredible gameplay. It was Resident Evil 6's ideas realized beautifully. Like they did such a good job with that, and I platinumed that game. But Pragmata, I'm just like, oh my God, dude! Like, what can't these guys do at that, and these gals do at this company? Like, they really. And the thing that's crazy, this has nothing to do with Pragmata, but just the thing that's crazy is they posted a picture and they're like, we're not done yet. Yeah, sure that Onimusha. I'm like, oh my God, bro! And like that also looks different.
Yes, I remember seeing that with the desk and the way he was doing things with the manipulating the environment during the sword fighting, and I'm just like. Bro, a generational heater. This is insane what Capcom is able to pull off. And they could potentially have 3 GOTYs in 1 year. Like, that would be wild.
Dude, it's just special. I don't take it for granted that the worst thing, and I put worst in heavy air quotes, that they have produced of recent memory is Exoprimal. Exoprimal wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, that was the last thing I was thinking about. I was like,
I thought it was fun. I
still thought it was fun. I remember playing it. I was like, no, this is still fun.
You know it was just a little frustrating that it wasn't, especially as someone who played Dino Crisis recently. I'm like, okay, you guys kind of made like this futuristic game. Characters are very reminiscent of of Dino Crisis, but you didn't make like what are we doing here? You know, it felt a little bit like a missed opportunity. It was the only time they felt a little out of sync with the audience.
That felt like the wave chase. You could tell they wasn't a little confident. They gave it the Game Pass bag. They took that immediately.
Oh yeah, it was Game Pass.
It was Game Pass bag with that. And then, but I mean, to me, it started all since Kalutsugami. I was like, what is this? This game would never get signed off. And I'm just like, this is dope.
Xbox helped with that too, right?
Yeah, they helped. Phil got that through the door, got them in the joint. And I was like, me and Colin did a sacred on it. And we were just like, we're so appreciative because this is weird Capcom being allowed to do what they have to do. And now what you're saying to me is like, this is probably about is like weird Capcom with a AAA budget and just now also this different story. And it also has got, you know, a feel and a heart to it. Everyone's saying the core gameplay just seems so unique. It's so refreshing. Everyone's saying, no, I will get to it. It's so much, brother. It's so much of a review season right now. But yeah, I mean, and King agrees with you. This first thing he beat it. He loves Resident Evil. Like, loves it to the core. He's like, no, this is my game of the year. This is better. It's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
He said exactly the same thing.
It's just slightly better made. Like, they're both incredibly well made games that had to strike balances in their own ways, but just this one scratches my brain a little bit better.
Nice.
You know, that loop is just so good. I love sci-fi, you know, that gets bonus points. I love the moon. I love space settings in general. This game tricks all of that. I think my only complaint, if I had one actual complaint about the game,
talk to me.
they have this one part of the setting where it's a 3D, this is not a spoiler, it's in the trailers, 3D printed New York City. It's like Times Square and it's like falling apart. It is so cool, so imaginative. Never quite hits that high again on a location basis. It's the only thing. I'm like, the locations are great afterwards. There's like one I really like afterwards, but the others are kind of like, man, like, I was hoping like, oh, are you guys going to like do are we recreating Dubai? Like, you know, are we recreating like different parts of the world
like
in
biomes.
This game?
Okay.
Yeah. Like, it felt like they had a vision and they got it done for like that one part of the game. They're like, yeah, the asset bloat for that was crazy. Let's not do that for anything else. That's why we were working on this for like 6 years, you know? So
yeah.
I get it. But it was such a cool part of the game. The rest of it is really great. I just feel like the locations don't reach that high, but because the gameplay takes off in such a way and the story is so, I think, enjoyable, I care a little bit less, all things considered. So it balances out. Cog, we're going to do a bit of professional podcasting for the second week in a row. Do you want me to, we're 3 hours in. Do you want to take a break here? We just keep going.
We can power wave up to you, man.
All right. Yeah. We only got one more topic.
One more topic. Yeah. That's right.
I got to work better on like, if I see the 2 hour mark, break.
No
matter where we're at, 2 hours, break.
We was kind of cooking this way and we had very passionate thoughts. So I was like, I got to let him cook. He's on it right now.
Yeah. My bad.
No, you good.
All right. Well, let's get into our number one story, Cog. It's a big one. There's a leadership shakeup at Xbox once more. I'm getting flashbacks to when like we had like Phil and Sarah, and we had that flow chart of everyone as leaders at Xbox. And then we have a follow-up from Asha Sharma on what's going on here, plus the surprise reveal that Copilot development will be ending for both console and mobile. Let's start off with the Xbox staff shakeup. This comes from Tom Warren of The Verge. He says the changes will see some veterans depart, promotions and new faces with more technical expertise to help the Xbox platform team. Jared Palmer, who used to work with Sharma in Microsoft's CoreAI division, is joining Xbox's VP of engineering and a technical advisor to Sharma. In a memo to Xbox employees seen by The Verge, Sharma says that Palmer will work directly with me on our most complex product and engineering problems, with a focus on a developer tooling, taste, and infrastructure. Next up, it says Tim Allen, former CoreAI VP of Design and GitHub's Senior VP of Design and Research, is also joining Xbox to lead design. Sharma says that Allen's appointment is the first time bringing together product design, design engineering, research, and creative with a fan-first focus. Then we have Jonathan McKay, former head of growth at Microsoft CoreAI division, who is also joining Xbox to lead its growth, data platforms, and analytics. Evan Chalky, a former general manager in CoreAI, is joining a new team in Xbox to lead a forward-deployed engineering group focused on removing repetitive work, simplifying development, and improving how we operate. These leadership changes at Xbox largely affect the platform teams under the former Xbox president, Sarah Bond. Microsoft originally announced Bond's departure in February, and she has remained in place as a special advisor to Sharma to help with the leadership transition. Many expected Bond would be named Xbox chief, but Microsoft CEO had decided to shake things up. As part of the new Xbox shakeup, Roanne Sones, corporate VP of Xbox devices and ecosystem, will be taking a leave of absence after this summer and will be staying on as advisor. Sones previously reported up to Bond and helped lead the launch of the Xbox Ally devices. Kevin Gamble, corporate vice president of Xbox user experience, is also stepping down after nearly 20 years at Microsoft. He has dedicated more than 15 years to Xbox and will support the transition, says Sharma. I'm super grateful for his leadership and everything he has built here. Then the wizard, Jason Ronald, vice president of Next Gen, is also getting a promotion as part of these changes. On hardware, we are elevating Jason Ronald accountable for Project Helix and our platform. It's not clear what Ronald's new title is, though. Jason Beaumont will lead the product and serve as the interim head of engineering as part of these changes. This is an important time for Xbox, says Sharma. Our goal with this change is simple: build a platform that is affordable, personal, and open by staying close to the work and people we serve. We will continue to add capabilities needed to get there. After this broke, like I said, I saw this and I was like, oh God, CoreAI team. And a lot of former, like, Meta and Instacart people. This is all Asha's old squad from like all these years she's worked. She writes on Twitter immediately after, though, and kind of diffuses me. Xbox needs to move faster, deepen our connection with the community, and address friction for both players and developers. Today, we promoted leaders who helped build Xbox while also bringing in new voices to help push us forward. This balance is important as we get the business back on track. As part of this shift, you'll see us begin to retire features that don't align with where we're headed. We will begin winding down Copilot on mobile, and we will stop development of Copilot on Xbox consoles. Cog, your thoughts?
Wow, a lot to digest. I mean, yeah. So obviously we got the new people in, right? And these are people. A lot have come from Microsoft CoreAI, who I, again, not familiar, don't know, but clearly people that she has worked with. So Jared Palmer, Tim Allen, McKay, Evan Chackey, and David Schloss. So as far as the majority of them, obviously CoreAI, Instacart, and then the departures, right? And I looked at the departures, and there were some notable names. Because Roanne Sones, I remember covering the Ally event for the first time. This is Asus pre Xbox Ally, the debut of the Ally, the white version. And I'm like, okay, they got to get into the handheld space. Let me see what's going on. I'm there at an Asus event. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I'm like, what is Microsoft doing here? And it was Roseanne Sonis. So I'm like, okay. And that's when I realized, them wanting to get into these devices. I remember Game Pass, the native experience of having that on the device. The other thing is Kevin Gamble. Kevin Gamble, I've heard a lot of great things. And him kind of being the lifeblood of a lot of Xbox initiatives and things of that nature. So these are some very prominent names. Let's just be clear. And he is very much respected in the building. Now, I will say this. With any new regime, what is par for the course is you bringing your people. And all of these people who are exiting, let's be clear, had at some point reported to Phil and Sarah. So this was inevitable from my understanding, is kind of the vibe I'm getting. At first I was mixed because I was like, damn, these are, there's some names, you know what I'm saying? And then, to be honest, what is your instinct when you see CoreAI? Your instinct go, oh no, right? You go, oh boy, right? Yeah. And, in fairness, I did feel that. I was just like, I don't know. Let me see what it is. That's what my gut was like. I don't know. Same thing when we heard of Asha. We was like, where is she from? What does she do? You look at the thing. But here's the other thing too. And again, I'm not saying that this is 100% the case, but this is another way to look at it. Because we talk about the second part, which is where Maddie popped the bottle, right? Which is Copilot, right? And here's the thing. We have to admit, the optics of CoreAI don't feel good, but removing Copilot from Xbox, right, is a big deal. That is something, and I can say it on record now, and Maddie, I'm familiar with it. What I'm about to say is that I have been privy to accessing the implementation of Copilot on Xbox. I've got the file. They were like, this is how it's going to be. What you think? You know what I'm saying? So the reality of that's how far the integration was. If you see on the Ally, they had a Copilot tab. They were moving forward with, this is a big deal. I don't want to understate how big a deal it is for her to have this removed, especially when she, in some circles, will be villainized as the AI, person, right? Sure. Here's the thing you got to look at. We talked about the Eye of Sauron and Microsoft and, the AI bubble, right? And I know some Xbox pros are like, yo, she bringing home people, cronyism, what's going on? I get it. But you got to look at this also. If they are removing these people from CoreAI to Xbox, there's a part of me that is like, is CoreAI or whatever, and it may not represent generative AI and all that stuff, but what I'm trying to say is the fact that it's being pulled away from could be viewed as a positive.
Just like in the net general, I get what you're saying. Like the net positive of like, if they were trying to support this thing, wouldn't they keep the staff there?
Why pull these core movers? That's why I have to give her that part. Because I mean, from an org standpoint, because if the org is dominant as it's going to be, and I'm not saying that there's not going to have anybody going to replace her, replace these people and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but that also could be looked at that. All I care about selfishly is where Maddie is, which is gaming and how it affects gaming. I'm cool with mundane tasks. I'm cool. Even with the Xbox Copilot, I rolled my eyes at first, but I'm like, okay, maybe I could see a way you could use it. We talked about for achievement hunting or something like that. Sure. The fact they said this is not going to be part of Xbox anymore is a huge W short term for the Asha Sharma era. People did not like to even want this thing associated with Xbox. Yep. And this is kind of falling back. This is aligning with her verbiage of it being, protect the art or whatever and stuff. She has said that. So I got to say she is keeping her word in that respect. So there's a lot more to discuss, but that was my initial thing. Not surprised by the CoreAI people coming over because that is part of the course. You got to get people to execute your vision. And she's insulating, I will say this though, she's insulating herself with the movers and shakers of how she want to do things from the top level. So Satya ISC better be careful. Like she is putting together her power team, so to speak. And this is everything that seems to be against the past regime. They're doing it. She's doing it her way. Big W though for the Copilot thing removal. And yeah, this is, I can't keep up with her, bro. Like it's to the point every week it's okay. She did this, she did that. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's a nothing burger, but you keep doing a lot of these, right? That's how culture changes. And then maybe, just maybe, this is the outside thing that is needed. And I'll be the first to admit that as a person who did have respect for certain people of the past regime, right? I'm always going to be objective to say, hey, if true change happens, maybe it is because of someone who is not as close, who can look at things a little bit more deftly, things a little bit more calculated and cold, and say, okay, this is what I think needs to happen for things to truly change. But I'm rambling. I am very curious about where you at with this.
Yeah. It's okay. A lot of my takeaways are similar to you. Like the CoreAI part is where I get a little mixed up, because I think there's a real glass half full way of looking at it, and there's a glass half empty way of looking at it. I'm sure our comment section will represent that perfectly. I could look at this glass half full and be like, look, it was very apparent that Phil, Sarah, and Matt, to some extreme or another, were too attached to their process and avoided very tough decisions that had to be made. I know there were other contributing factors, but it was very clear there were things that maybe wouldn't have looked the best optically, but made sense for their business. Namely, Redfall comes to mind, like their ability to kind of assess that quality, or how Halo was handled. Those are choices that they've made where I'm just like, I think you were a little too attached to the people working there, or you were afraid of how it would look or the reaction. And I get that. That was then, this is now. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world with what Asha has been saying, if we were to believe her words, of sort of the balance. She said the balance is important, of new people to push us forward, as in people not attached to gaming, while having your Jason Ronalds, dare I say your Matt Booties, and co, who have been a part of Xbox for a while and are helping kind of drive it in a particular direction, right? Like, I think that combined force of, not having really specific love for anybody and just running a good business and just driving it around fans and fan feedback, and having people who know games and know the games business being in Asha's ear, being like, this is what makes sense, and trusting those people that they kind of effectively know ball. These are ball knowers at the end of the day. I could see this being a positive potentially, At the same time, when Asha was first brought in, there was a level of like, and it was quickly washed away with all of the news between these last 60 days, which was the first feeling we all had is, oh God, the AI division is taking over Xbox. There is something to be said about just, even though we have a bunch of news in between that and now, that feeling did come to pass. The XAI team is Xbox now. That is true. Does it mean that it's going to suck ass now? Certainly Asha has done enough work here to show that maybe it won't actually. But that fear is a very real thing, and it did happen. We'll just see how actionable all of that is. So that's what gets me mixed. Is like, our gut feeling came true. You know, in the middle of all the good stuff happening that did not involve this crew, by the way. It was Asha and the team that exists now. You know, that's where all the good work's coming from. How will it change now? What are these people going to accomplish? And yeah, it does remind me a little bit of what we were just talking about with Halo Studios, where I'm just like, oh, here come the friends.
Hi, here come the friends.
Here come the pals.
Is it a family package?
I'm the CEO now. You got a job. You got a job. You got a job. You got a job. Come on in, everybody. You know, I remember you from Meta. I remember you from Instacart, bro. Go through everyone's LinkedIn. You will see one overlap or another where Asha was like, I liked working with you. Come on back on. And so everyone's got their team, as Cog mentioned, sure. But I don't know if that bodes well for our hopes on her getting involved with Halo Studios and being like, hey, what the fuck's going on here? Should be a hypocrite now. So yeah, that's my glass half full, glass half empty take on the leadership team. What do I know? I felt optimistic when the Phil leadership chart came out. I was like, okay, and Microsoft Gaming, interesting. Phil's got a seat at the table. What could that mean? I had glass half full the whole way through. And I was like, that shit was dead fucking empty, dude. I didn't realize at the time. I was drinking through empty glass. empty glass. So that's my nuanced take for that.
Okay.
Copilot.
Talk to me.
What's there to say? I was doing a dance like a little fanboy. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? In 2026, I'm seeing the words stopping development of an AI service. You fucking serious? Look, dude. To be fair, she said consoles.
Yes.
And there is the line that is, well, Helix is a PC. What are you doing with Copilot on Windows? And like how they're kind of rolling parts of that back. Yeah. So there is that. But this is a complete, like what I would call a script flip. This is a complete against the playbook at all odds moment. Microsoft's got a fucking hard on like no one else for AI. They see all the gold in that. They're like, oh, we need to be the leaders in that, right? Everyone's acting like that. Microsoft especially, they've destroyed the goodwill of all their businesses by doing so, shoving Copilot to everything in Windows. And they were starting to do that for gaming. We saw that with the simple things that seemed useful, game recommendations. Like, hey, you played this. You know, maybe try this, or, you know, catching up on an old save file. Hey, you were here last time you played a couple of days ago. Just recapping, that sort of stuff. Or more extreme things like, hey, I'm stuck in Minecraft. How do I build a workbench? Or I'm playing as Soldier 76 and I keep dying. What do I do? Just that stuff I get my back up on because I'm like, you're removing the very purpose of games, which is like at its most minimal or extreme level, overcoming a challenge. And as I said in my video on this, the industry has really convinced themselves that everything's for everyone. That is not how it goes. It's up to the developer. And so, again, a tool like this kind of being shoehorned and everything, I'm like, I don't know. My thought process is this, Cog. I'm glad they're getting rid of Copilot for console. I'm glad they're getting rid of it for mobile. I think some of these features that we did see, the ones that we were more cool with, like the ones I just mentioned with like, hey, game recommendations. Why not? Right? I think they will be rebranded. And I think they'll be served up to us a little differently. Like instead of a Copilot for gaming feature,
what you
think about like PlayStation's game help that they have on the PS5.
Okay.
Where they're like, some games opted in and they do video guides for their trophies, or like, hey, you're stuck here. They have the card system and you can open up the cards. I could see a world where Xbox still runs with some type of Copilot guide system.
Okay.
But it's more like a feature like Xbox hand holder. Okay. And it's like a handshake emote. and like it lets you pull up, if you pull up the handshake in the dashboard, it's like the game help. And it's powered by Copilot, but it's not like a Copilot feature. You know what I'm saying? Like you're being served, they're seasoning your meal. You're being served the same thing, but like they put a little pepper and salt on it.
I mean,
that's my theory because I think some of those features did have potential. Save recaps.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any harm in that personally.
Right.
And I'm about as anti-AI as it gets. Certainly, am I going to be sitting here going, shit, shucks, they got rid of it all? No. But I do think they might rebrand some of those features.
I mean, she did say, her verbiage is, we will be stopping development of Copilot on stopping. As if there will be no trace. And winding it down even on mobile, which is another place where it could exist in a world with ChatGPT and people, you would think, like, I guess the reason why, it's not even pushing back against you, I'm just curious about this. It's just more so the fact that since she's been announced as the head of Xbox, remember one of the first things me and you both said is when she made that AI slop comment, then we had the 10 Commandments comment, which was like art over whatever. And now this, it appears that she is putting her money where her mouth is in terms of AI not on console. Now, to your point, I think you make a solid point. Well, maybe there's a lesser feature of it as far as like maybe a feature set on a smaller, but to hear her say stop development, that's a strong statement, bro. That's kind of like, I don't know. But I mean, we'll see. The other thing, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let you finish your bars.
You're good.
The other thing that I forgot to mention was the Jason Ronald part. And I'll be honest, I was very nervous. Because at first I'm looking at all the names. I'm like, well, okay. Because remember, this is old regime. Remember, Jason, his former title was like VP of new generation experiences, right? And then he reported directly like to Sarah or something, right? So now I'm like, oh no. Remember, Madame President brings in her own cabinet. So I'm like, the wizard might be in trouble. So I'm looking through the name. Then I see Jason, then I don't see a title next to his name. Because I'm like, okay, you staying, where the title at, right? So I'm like, all right. But then he comes out with the tweet. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, excited for the future, whatever. And I'm like, okay, that release, because generally, if you're not going to be part of the new regime, you ain't announcing nothing. You ain't announcing, hey, I'm excited if you about to be canned, you know what I'm saying, or moved on from. So what I'm going to assume is there is going to be a new role for him. They're probably not ready to announce what the role is.
What could it be? If he's already VP of Next Generation, what is the... Bro,
you got to be at it. If I'm going to guess, you got to be at the seat of the table on it. Because look, you got to get the Matt Booty, what we going to call him, little finger treatment. You part of the, you know what I'm saying? You survive mad generations. You know what I'm saying? You know how little finger's cutting? You know what I'm saying? You find a way to always be right next to the new person in power. You know what I'm saying? This is Matt Booty and Jason Ronald got it on smash because they have figured a way to little finger their way through every generation. And they like, yep, we're good. And Matt's giving the public addresses because if you notice, it says Matt and Asha. Yeah. Matt and Asha, we're a duo, we're a duet, album in stores. You know what I'm saying? And now Jason making a tweet, and I'm like, okay, this to me feels like he's more closer. He is going to be a part, and there's going to be, they said it. They said he's a promotion, right? They said he's going to be getting a promotion. So I was like, oh, he good. And out of selfish.
All hardware, right? Like he's probably just overseeing all hardware.
It's got to be like selfishly. I mean, he was already hardware before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's a level up. And I'm all about that because Jason, look, I don't care. Nobody say, like, as far as from a design standpoint, from a technical standpoint, he's one of the best in the biz. I'll go to war as far as his technical acumen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I was saying. They need him for whatever's going on with Helix, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, interesting time, man. Like, man, this is crazy. Because again, Maddie, we was there. We saw the Copilot push. They were trying to force this thing on us. They were like, it's going down. Bro, it's in, as of today, it was still, I mean, in the Ally, the OS as a tab, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that, we're stopping that. We're going to remove that. Wow, that's a big deal. I don't want to understate that.
Yeah, actually, if you go back to, let me grab Asha's Twitter account here, because she said something interesting a couple of days ago. She said on April 30th, she's like, we're refocusing our AI efforts to solving player problems like enhancing real-time graphics, improving discovery, and deepening personalization. Auto SR is a good example. Early example, sorry. Models reconstruct high frequency detail from lower res frames, increasing image quality and performance. And so I guess, again, she says we're refocusing, but now they're cutting Copilot. So it seems like AI is still, I think a lot of people took it as like AI is off the board completely.
Right,
It's like
correct.
just using AI.
Yes.
But it seems like it's more about smoothing the player friction rather than putting the tool set in their hands and be like, make content. Like our dream is Copilot Labs is going to let you make your own games. And we're going to like, I think I can at least hope right now that dream is fucking dead and in a ditch somewhere. You know,
this is good. This is short. Again, the ultimate, she has been racking up the ultimate short-term W's. And between this, I feel this is, Game Pass is probably, out of all her short-term W's, Game Pass price reduction is probably the number one. This is number two. As far as the AI, removal from a console. And then three, from a community standpoint, I have to give her, whether she was advised from Matt or whoever, Fairfest coming back is the ultimate, you gonna get a pass from the community for at least a year kind of energy because you did something that is near and dear to the heartstrings, right? So, certainly. But me and you, from a top level objective standpoint, it's like, oh, this is great. You still got to answer exclusivity. You still got to answer, how
you're going to green light,
what games you're going to green light, and what's the games under your era. And then the third for me, like I will continue to repeat, I want to see this new team energy when it comes to Halo Studios and people who are problem childs in your org, because then I'm going to know. And did you catch I'm going to say she pulled up. Did you see Seamus Blackley in the building?
I did see that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. And again, I got to come at my boy E because I love it. He listens, right? Because E had the little battle. He's like, yo, that ain't nothing but, she's learning and this, that. I just find it quite interesting with Seamus. She didn't put out a public tweet letting we need to talk and then like that. She just, all of a sudden, she found a way to contact him. Non-public.
Oh, you think she's playing public games by messaging Sean Layden, but not
on his public LinkedIn. I spoke to many corporate people. They like, Cog, you right. Like every corporate person knows how to get a hold of something. If you want to have a true meaningful conversation, and I know the comment boys ain't like what I said, and it's cool. And I'll bother E. It's a little battle be E guy. It's fun. It's fun. It's
I like
funny.
your point though. I didn't think of it that way, but no offense to E, I kind of get where you're coming from though.
Why are you on that man LinkedIn publicly saying, "Oh, we need to have a chat"? Then Seamus was the last person being disrespectful. Right? Saying she's going to strip it down to parts. Remember when she was first announced and we saw CoreAI? I'm guilty of it. I was like, oh no. Right? Yeah. This is the father of Xbox saying, she's going to burn it to the ground.
Yeah, sunsetting the brand. I forgot he said all that.
All of a sudden, call get made. All of a sudden, he had Redmond now. All of a sudden, after the conversation, I really talked to her and read great. I met the great Asha. This, that. Oh, she's a pull-up artist. I can't take that away from her. Her pull-up is this.
Maybe she'll actually pull up on our show. Phil never did, bro. Man.
That part. That's what Attic said. Attic said, Attic and you is so funny talking about because it's the same energy. It's hilarious. He's like, maybe this generation actually respect what the hell going on. What we doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it is what it is. But like I said, these are just fun things. Again, if the people who are on East Side, I totally hear what y'all said. And yes, to the people on East Side and E himself, I will agree that it is awesome that she is willing to have these knowledge gaining conversations from industry veterans, people who have more experience. That is very valid. I'm just saying, all I talk about is just the manner in which you do things. That's all. I sense feist, Maddie. I do sense a little, she outside with certain things. She not the pushover that I may have. Not that I assumed she was a pusher. I just didn't know who she was. I don't know anything about her. We're learning her personality is shining through with something certain. And she's outside all the day. And the other thing that Attic put me on, her age. I think she's younger. I still got to double check that. I think she's a social media kind of person. She's outside all the time. She's not running from stuff, especially with the financials and all that. She was the first to be like, hey, this ain't it. Since when we saw the past regime ever talk about bad numbers instead of masking them and cherry picking certain BS stats that we know don't really care for nothing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big deal.
She was on San Francisco Business Times 40 under 40 in 2023.
Yeah, approximately 36 to 37 is what the Googles is saying. That's a different kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? That age group.
I'm at the age now where like I'm noticing with sports a lot though, but I'm like, oh, I'm not that far off.
Y'all in the same pocket. You're
far off.
Yeah, y'all.
What am I doing with my life? She's a CEO.
I know. We like, damn. That's my biggest.
I watch these like hockey players that are zooming up and down the ice making millions of bucks. I'm like, it's like 24 years old and they look like a grown ass man. And I'm just like,
what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, like sports is having that effect on me now where I'm reflecting way more watching. Where I know I'm not old, but I'm looking, I'm like when I saw Connor McDavid is 30 something, I was like, oh, he's a little old. No, never mind. No, he's not. I saw people in the comments because they lost in the playoffs, and a lot of people were like, oh, McDavid's walking, like he's getting older now. And I'm like, yeah, no. He's like, no, he's not.
I feel you. It's over. But yeah, this is all fun stuff, man. We're here for the ride. We're gonna see where this thing go. But yeah, absolutely.
We got a couple write-ins, guys. Let's go. We'll wrap things up here. Yep. Justin Black writes, hello, defining daddies. As a primary PlayStation gamer looking from the outside in, can you explain the hype around Asha's decision making? I'm not trying to present a gotcha moment or be condescending. I just genuinely want to know. She talks about reevaluating their take on exclusivity, but also talks about expanding the platform and putting their games in most places. She takes down Copilot, but the same day she also hires 4 CoreAI executives to lead their initiatives. Isn't this the same as Phil talking out of both sides of his mouth, or am I reading too much into things? Love the content, Dukes. Keep it real and raw. Justin, I think what we're all collectively witnessing, Cog, I'll be curious if you agree with this, is someone who actually knows optics.
Yes, big time.
Someone who actually knows. Okay, at the end of the day, this is what it all comes down to. Corporate Cog can speak to this, I'm sure. I can't. Is the consideration of the news and how it will look in conjunction with things. It's something Xbox me and Cog have always said, like, you got to think about the back to back to back to back to back and how that looks, where it's like, y'all are catching L's everywhere versus like, we're hiring the CoreAI team. And you got people like me who are ready to bust out and be like, yeah, see, gotcha. Like that. Like, I got him. I knew it. Fucking knew it. It's like, oh, well, we're shutting down Copilot though. It's like, oh.
Same thing.
When they got people like me shutting my trap, I think that's when I know I'm like, they're good.
Yeah.
She's good, bro. So I think that is what we're witnessing. I'm not gassing her up for that. No. You got to learn the game, though. We learned the Phil game eventually.
Oh, eventually. Yeah, we learned it. Yeah, he learned it.
He's a little craftier, though. I think it's going to be a little tougher.
I agree. You nailed it. I think that's what it is. I was ready to pop. Call of Duty Remade. Game Pass is 22. Oh, wow. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was ready, bro. I was like, see, there's the fraudery. Here it come. And listen, I'll be the first to admit, I had a lot of reservations and apprehension when I first heard about it. I didn't know who she was. I was just like, who is this? So of course you see that. But yeah, to his Justin Black's point, as far as the CoreAI initiative, again, all I would say, you cooking, brother. I get where you're coming from, but you can't minimize taking Copilot out. I get the optics of CoreAI executives, but you got to also look at that. In fairness, any regime change is going to bring in their people. And also, again, I don't know if the next part I'm about to say is true, but it does feel weird that so many people from CoreAI can be pulled at this time to be part of Xbox. Sure. What is happening with CoreAI from an infrastructure standpoint? That is in fairness to that group. Because trust me, my eyes were there, Justin, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? But then again, Copilot gone, that's the actionable thing.
Yeah.
That gives you like you said, the W optics win. You go,
100%. And it's starting to make waves. One thing to consider, Justin, this is the most, I think, applicable example of this. We often hear like, y'all are the hardcore. You're not reaching out there yet. All this is about the hardcore. What we got to realize is like, what Asha's doing is good for this very specific base. Like people like Cog and I who've covered it for years, or have grown up with Xbox, or we're deep in gaming. We're paying attention to Twitter, right? It's hardcore gamer shit happening right now. It's reaching in maybe some layers, people on the fringe, but she hasn't done I think, massive sweeping move that really, like, Copilot is huge for us because we are hardcore gamers. But I think generally speaking, people aren't going to blink at that or make an Xbox purchase based on that. Game Pass cut is nice, but the price is still a little hiked, you know? So these are all what we have to consider, like, the small wins. And the reality is that if you pay attention outside of Twitter, you kind of understand the reality of the situation, which is none of this, it matters, but none of it is at the point of changing their fate. That is to come. And that is why Cog and I have said over and over, and I swear if I ever see the comment boys pull up and be like, you guys were popping bottles for this.
No, we were not.
I was like, no, I'm not going to hear it this time because I've been very careful being like, every time I'm like, I'm not there yet. Exactly. And I'm still not there. I will still be vocally positive about the things I like to see, because for them to do their job, they got to know when they've actually, hit a home run.
Exactly.
And I'm here. I'm like, get Copilot gone?
Yeah.
I will applaud that. But does that mean I'm like, I'm posting the picture of Asha Sharma with the fucking cane and the Queen's hat and stuff like that?
Ready.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. So that's the thing to pay attention to, Justin, is like when you look at Twitter and you look at like the specific people cheering, I mean, they were just general gamers there, hardcore gamers. Yeah. It's, it's our circle right now. It's not reached beyond that. And I think that gives it a little bit more of a balanced perspective of just sort of like how far it's actually reaching and what's changing and not changing.
Yeah. And she said it herself. She's got work to do. And according to, Commandment 4, it's core before more. She's doing the 10 commandments. She's focusing on us first before she spreads the good word to everyone else, which is who she has to actually approve to change this brand around.
So she's got her apostles. Is that what she brought in from CoreAI, the 4 apostles?
Yeah, she definitely she got the fish and the bread, and she outside.
The blood of Asha.
That's what we passing the wafers around in the wine. That's what we doing around right now. That's all we doing. It ain't getting widespread yet.
She's using the fucking lime green Gatorade, the blood of Asha.
That's hilarious. The visuals. Astro Parrot gonna have it's over for us right now. Astro Parrot gonna cook up like 3 memes. It's over for us. It's a wrap.
Dude, I would love to see that. Just Asha with the bowl of like Mountain Dew, dumping the nacho cheese Dorito in there. The body of Asha, the blood of Phil. The blood of Phil.
You're a savage. It's too soon, man. He's too soon.
We got this other right in here. Yep. This comes from, this is not dumb, this is Patrick. He says, greeting Holy Ghost of Maddie and Father Cog. I guess that's on point. That's
on point, Tommy.
With the recent talks of Xbox reconsidering exclusivity, I was wondering if they will see how this holiday goes. As a PlayStation user, I can't wait to get my grubby paws on Forza and Fable.
Can I pause you for a second? Why he had to write it? Like, that sounds so hilarious. It sounds like a very shiesty. I can't wait to get my grubby little PlayStation. But the way he said it, wrote it,
it was just a nasty little PlayStation. It was like, I can play the Xbox shit.
I love the way he wrote it. It's so funny. I visualized it. Sorry. I had to give you that. Those are bars, Patrick.
Of course. I realize now we kind of talked about this, but I'll read it out anyway. With these 2 games, Xbox will have data for both day 1 releases and delayed releases on other platforms. Does this help them make a decision on exclusivity, or is that ship already sailed? I apologize, Scott. We've already got over this. And I apologize to Tom, not Patrick. I apologize. I said, thank you, gentlemen, for these amazing years, and wishing you both many more fun-filled years to come. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I guess, Cog, any updated thoughts at this point in the show after we've got over it a few times?
We went over it. Like I said, we I think me and you are in complete alignment that the exclusivity decision is one of the top of the list long-term play things that we're going to learn a lot. What she does, what she doesn't do, how she handles it, how she verbalizes it. We'll learn some at the showcase. We're learn about, we're going to learn about E-Day. We're going to learn about Halo. We're going to learn all these things. And again, it's still early. We talked about at least I talked about the 3 things that I personally need before I'm ready to crown and, anoint. And exclusivity is one of them. So yeah, we'll see. I will just say it is exciting from a PR standpoint to have to do this show. And we've had almost a month of W's.
Good perspective.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That is rare for us. That is rare. We've sacrificed the Mets for this.
It's true.
But as Xbox fans, and we're going to keep Brad away until probably post showcase around then. And we got to put it through the Brad test, though. That's what we're going to do. She'll be back.
Reaction if we usually team up with at least Rand before the showcase. If we brought Brad in instead before the showcase.
If she survives the Brad test, we survived the Brad test or the Asha era, it's a new day. It's a new day. We got to, I would say, like around showcase and post showcase, that's what we
showcase Brad. I
think will be to play.
Real, okay, we've reached this milestone, like this is the milestone reward now. So let's bring Brad in and really see how far things have come.
Facts. We gonna really know. What do we get a Redfall type launch after that from Master Chief? We gonna learn.
That's so true, right? Right now the rumor is that Halo's coming out in July. If we get Brad in mid-June, what will he do to Halo?
Exactly. We gotta see. Will the curse have its effect? Do we have enough Asha Sage and positive energy to withstand the Brad effect?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good test of this new regime because they could fill in that. They could not survive Brad. Yeah. They could not. Every time.
That kid had the touch of death,
bro. He came on. 4 games. He came on. Price hike $30. He came on. Bro, studio shut down. Bro, Brad was it's that Grim Reaper me just go through the door of your Xbox and there's the blood trail at the joint. You just see Brad with the smiley, innocent face destroying Xbox.
Every time, bro.
Brad, if you listen, I love you.
So we'll have to test you out, Brad. Brad, if you're listening, June will be your time. Mid-June Brad sounds like post-showcase Brad.
Yes.
That sounds very nice. Just to set the stage. Let's see what happens the second half of the year. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our show. We appreciate you all being here. Hashtags we got to go back to Copilot.
I would say this has got to be Copilot.
I know we've done that before. We got to go back.
Go back. This is a day of choice.
See you later. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Don't get lost on your way home.
Don't get lost.
Copilot DD is the hashtag. You can tag us on Twitter. I'm at G27status. Cog is at Lord Cognito. You can find us over there. Or if you don't use socials, you can go ahead and use the comment section down below. Be nice down there. Some of you don't like to.
Yes.
It's always a war. Like there's always a tug of war happening. You know? Like we'll like last week we got a little taste of Starfield era Dukes. Like it was good vibes. Then all of a sudden it was shit vibes. And then all of a sudden the core audience kind of came in and was like, it started to balance.
Yes.
But it got a little messy. Like I remember clicking on that on Sunday. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yes.
And then I clicked on Monday. I was like, all right, we've settled in. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. It'd be crazy sometimes in these streets.
Whatever you guys want to use. Feel free to let us know your thoughts on the episode. Hashtag CopilotDD. Cog, we're getting on out of here. It's 9:30 p.m. Any plans for the night, sir?
Yes. Shout out to, as of recording, we couldn't include it because it was going on because we got Stranger Than Heaven's thing and the people are popping off. It's looking really good by RGG. Xbox got the marketing. Jason Ronald said it's the most highly anticipated game he's got. I'm going to be right on this trailer. You know how I do with RGG. Apparently Snoop Dogg is in it. As a person. Yeah. So I got to see what's going on with that. But anyway, shout out to the Realm of the Duke. Shout out to the writing. Shout out to everything going on and the fun energy, getting ready for summer. And man, can't wait. Another bomb show. So
absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely. So we'll be back next week to talk about what's our prediction? What do you think happens next week at this rate? It seems like she's at a once a week cadence, multiple times a week right now. But
you get one major thing a week, and then she'll throw in 3 or 4 things, little things on top of it. So it's hard. I cannot keep up with it. I'm like, what did she do now? That's where it's at. So I say, it'll be something next week. We'll see. They got so much
upgrade. I'm gonna go with that.
What you going with?
Achievement upgrade. Like the little thing is going to be the boot up because the boot up was announced today for next Wednesday. I'm going to throw achievements in there.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny you say because I was playing Replace and now I've seen the new animations and the new sounds and how crisp it is when it comes through. Listen, it's funny you say it because I looked at who she follows. She follows True Achievements, which is who they integrate with. If someone put on, she's doing a research.
That reminds me though,
bro.
This won't happen.
I know what you're going to say.
You know who Jason Ronald shouted out?
Who?
someone was like, because I guess Back and Pat had some type of bug, and he was like, "Hey guys, we fixed it." And someone was like, "Hey Jason, where can we make suggestions?" And he's like, "Oh, right here, good sir." He's like, "This is a community-run suggestions website for requests on Back and Pat." I'm like,
yes.
Why are you looking at that, Jason?
Since when? Why are you over there?
Yeah, I thought this got wound down.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. If she want 2 quick easy W's,
that's a showcase beat, right? That's
bro. Yeah, if they start with the let's say they do the Activision stuff. That's a high. Remember where the AB, bro? These are easy W's. She'd pull that, and don't let no debut no platinum equivalent.
Oh.
Forget you give me a new UI and then the platinum and then people gonna be like, again, these are call before more stuff, but
you, bro, they gotta call it the crown jewel.
Yeah,
they call it the crown. So sick.
That'd be fire.
We added because all these achievements are like diamonds and rarities, and it's like the crown jewel. You got all the achievements.
Did you get that jewel though?
Yeah. God. We'll see. Next week will be interesting, no doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you being here. We'll be back for another episode of Defining Duke. It'll be episode 280. Until then, please take great care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Maddie's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.